Chapter 280. This force is very special, even more mysterious than the Thousand Treasure Pavilion. Their whereabouts are very strange, but their only target in the Kanglan Empire is the geniuses. Any geniuses with a bit of fame will become the target of the Evolving Temple. Oh right, especially you, you're probably the biggest target of the Evolving Temple now. Speaking of this, Lung Rumeng searched for all the information about the Evolving Temple and wrote it down on pieces of paper. These pieces of paper were made of special materials, and there was a special formation in the secret room. As long as it was not deliberately destroyed, it could be kept intact for hundreds of years. This is the information about the Evolving Temple. Take a good look. Lung Rumeng gave a pile of information to Jiyu. Jiyu took the book and began to flip through it. Ding. Master has read the information for 1 minute. Basic memory gained experience. 1 by 999 times. Ding. Congratulations, Master. Your basic level memory has successfully broken through to initial mastery. Ding. Congratulations, Master. Your basic level memory has successfully broken through to mastery. Ding. Congratulations, Master. Basic memory has successfully broken through to greater mastery. Ding. Basic memory has been detected to be maxed out. Automatically upgraded to bronze memory. After reading for a while, the system notification began to bombard his mind. Jiyu had never triggered this ability before, but he did not expect that his memory could be improved too. This time, he immediately realized that he could remember everything clearly even if he read 10 lines at a glance. Ding. Master has read the information for 1 minute. Bronze memory gained experience. 1 by 999 times. Ding. Master has read the information for 1 minute. Bronze memory gained experience. 1 by 999 times. Ding. Congratulations, Master. Your bronze level memory has successfully broken through to initial mastery. After a few minutes, Jiyu finished reading all the information and memorized it clearly in his mind. Seeing that Jiyu was quickly skimming through the information, Lung Rumeng could not help but ask, "You've finished reading already?" "Yes." Jiyu nodded thoughtfully. After reading this information, he finally had a detailed understanding of the Evolving Temple. Currently, what was known was that the main hall of the Evolving Temple was not in the Kanglan Empire. The Kanglan Empire only had a branch hall, but no one knew where it was located. In fact, there was no record of whether the main hall of the Evolving Temple was in the southern region. The mysterious heavenly mainland was divided into 5 regions, namely the East Region, West Region, South Region, North Region, and Middle Region Sacred Land. The Kanglan Empire, on the other hand, was just an ordinary empire in the southern region. The Evolving Temple was far beyond Jiyu's imagination. According to the information, all the empires in the southern region had branches of the Evolving Temple. Some of them had been discovered, but most of them had yet to be discovered. Even if they found out, it would be useless. The Evolving Temple was too big, and no one dared to provoke it. All the forces were cautious of the Evolving Temple, as long as their geniuses were not taken away by the Evolving Temple. Even so, the Evolving Temple still had an endless supply of new blood. This was because even if the Evolving Temple did not take the initiative to attack, there would still be countless geniuses who would join them. For some reason, any geniuses who joined the Evolving Temple would be able to improve greatly in a short period of time. In addition, the Evolving Temple's foundation was unfathomable, and there were countless cultivation resources. Without a doubt, it was a place that most geniuses yearned for. All of this was what Jiyu saw in the information. If he did not read the information, he would not have known about this at all. Other than that, there was also a lot of information about the geniuses who were taken away by the Evolving Temple in the Kanglan Empire. This was the special thing about the Kanglan Empire. The Kanglan Empire was relatively closed off. In addition to the existence of the 3 holy lands of martial cultivation, the local geniuses almost never left the Kanglan Empire, and the geniuses from the outside rarely came to the Kanglan Empire. In addition, the evolving temple itself was not a very flamboyant existence. This caused the evolving temple's reputation in the Kanglan Empire to be very limited. Because of this, the evolving temple branch in the Kanglan Empire lacked fresh blood, and could only take the initiative to capture geniuses. After understanding all of this, Ji-Yu was speechless. He originally thought that the evolving temple was some extremely evil and extreme force, but in the end it was just a force that behaved rather strangely. However, this was another matter altogether. Back then, the evolving temple branch severely injured Jiang Yuechu and Jiang Yuexin's mother. He remembered this very clearly. No matter what kind of force the evolving temple was, based on the fact that Jiang Yuechu's mother was injured by the black demon fatal poison, there was no way he would hand Jiang Yuechu over to the evolving temple. Including himself, he had become the target of the branch of the evolving temple. This was because in the information, the geniuses who performed outstandingly in the previous 3 sects' great competition were all attacked by the evolving temple branch at least once, or even multiple times. The top-ranked geniuses of the 3 sects' great competition were all targeted by the evolving temple branch. Then, Ji-Yu was even more so. This was not him showing off, it was just the truth. Chapter 281. No matter what, Ji-Yu wouldn't easily compromise with the evolving temple. From the fact that the evolving temple could greatly increase one's strength in a short period of time, it was possible that it was a crooked method. However, Ji-Yu also saw some good news. Among the many reports, it recorded that Jiang Yuechu was attacked by the evolving temple. However, this information wasn't completely accurate, it was just a guess. The guess was that the Kanglan Empire's evolving temple branch was in desperate need of new blood. Jiang Yuechu was already a genius girl in Chaoyang Ancient City at that time, so she was targeted by the people of the branch who were traveling around Chaoyang Ancient City. Although they failed in the end, they also heavily injured the girl's mother. However, the girl wasn't the main target in the end, so the people of the branch gave up after failing once. However, they still left some harsh words for the sake of their reputation. These were all guesses in the report. It also guessed that the people of the branch probably wouldn't find trouble with Jiang Yuechu again. Anyway, Ji-Yu wouldn't completely believe this report, so he still had to be careful. However, he was sure that Jiang Yuechu and Jiang Yuexin weren't the main targets of the evolving temple branch. Chaoyang Ancient City, which was now unified by him, was the strongest backing for Jiang Yuechu and Jiang Yuexin. Now Ji-Yu should be worried about himself. The evolving temple would make a move on him sooner or later. He could only protect himself. After understanding the report, Ji-Yu left the secret room with Leng Rumeng. After all, this was one of the forbidden areas of the 1,000 Treasure Pavilion. They couldn't stay here for long. That's all. Thank you for your trouble this time. After leaving the secret room, Ji-Yu said to Leng Rumeng, "It's just a small matter." Leng Rumeng said, "But you must have been targeted by the evolving temple. There's no other way. I can only take one step at a time." Ji-Yu said helplessly, "It's not that there's no other way." Leng Rumeng looked into Ji-Yu's eyes. "You can join our 1,000 Treasure Pavilion. That way, you won't have to worry about the evolving temple. Although our 1,000 Treasure Pavilion is not necessarily better than the evolving temple, we are not that far behind. If you join our 1,000 Treasure Pavilion, the evolving temple will not dare to touch you so easily. You've just seen the information. The Kanglan Empire's evolving temple is weaker than the other empires. The other empires don't interfere with each other, but all the forces of the Pavilion of 1,000 Treasures in the southern region are connected." After saying so much, it was obvious that Leng Rumeng wanted to take this opportunity to win over Ji-Yu. "Then, what other benefits are there for me to join the Myriad Treasure Pavilion?" Ji-Yu asked, a little moved. Any normal person would be tempted. Jiyu was not a fool. Now, not only did they have to deal with the Kanglan Empire Academy, but they also had to deal with the threat of the evolving temple. There were threats both in the open and in the dark. If joining the Myriad Treasure Pavilion could really provide protection, it would undoubtedly be very good. However, Jiyu did not think it was that simple. He still remembered that the dean of the Kanglan Empire Academy, Gao Huan, was secretly in cahoots with the Myriad Treasure Pavilion. Even if Ling Ruming had helped him several times, he could not simply believe her words. One may know a person for a long time without understanding their true nature. What if Ling Ruming sold him out? The more beautiful a woman was, the scarier she was. Although this saying was not absolute, there was some truth to it. Especially since Ling Ruming was the daughter of the Myriad Treasure Pavilion. This kind of woman was definitely very smart. Therefore, Jiyu just wanted to test her first and did not directly agree. Then what kind of benefits do you want? Ling Ruming asked back. Good girl. Jiyu knew that Ling Ruming would answer like this. He did not know much about the Myriad Treasure Pavilion, and this Ling Ruming wanted him to take the initiative to ask for benefits. This woman was indeed as smart as he imagined. To be honest, he did not like this kind of woman who was too smart. It was easy to be played in circles. I've thought about it carefully and feel that I should forget about it for now. Thank you for your kindness, Miss Ling. Jiyu declined tactfully. In his opinion, Ling Ruming had not shown her true sincerity. But the most important thing was that he did not dare to trust this kind of woman casually. He did not know the situation inside the Myriad Treasure Pavilion. If he joined rashly, it was easy to make mistakes. In contrast, Jiyu would rather stay alone. He could stay in the Qianyuan Martial House, Chaoyang Ancient City, or wander around outside. Young master, don't you want to think about it more? Ling Ruming was a little anxious. She never expected that her habitual little trick would make Jiyu give up the idea. No, that's it. I'll go back first. After saying that, Jiyu swaggered off. Ling Ruming could not help but feel very sorry and sighed silently in her heart. She had always been very smart, but today she made a mistake. Chapter 282. After leaving the Thousand Treasure Pavilion, Jiyu wandered around the royal city, thinking about something. Although he already knew about the evolving temple, he didn't have any good countermeasures. Jiang Yuechu and Jiang Yuexin were easy to arrange. It was safest for them to stay by Master Murong's side. But he was different. As a key target, he couldn't stay in the Qianyuan Martial House. Otherwise, Jiang Yuechu and Jiang Yuexin would be targeted. Moreover, Jiyu didn't need the Qianyuan Martial House's protection. If Master Murong could deal with an expert, even if he couldn't win, he could still run away. If even Master Murong couldn't deal with an expert, it would be useless for him to run away. Therefore, Jiyu shouldn't think about how to find protection. Instead, he should focus on increasing his strength. Strength was the way to go. No longer thinking about these messy things, Jiyu quickly walked toward the Xian Vein Formation. The Xian Vein Formation was located in the center of the Qianyuan Martial House, the Kanglan Empire Academy, and the Qinxian sect. There was a Xian Vein Formation hidden underground. The first emperor of the Kanglan Empire set up an ancient formation there to activate the Xian Vein Formation. After thousands of years of development, the Xian Vein Formation was gradually perfected by the formation masters of the later generations. Under the control of the royal palace, it had now evolved into a training ground. There were more than 1,000 training rooms inside. The concentration of Xian Qi in the training rooms was much higher than the outside world. It could allow cultivators to achieve twice the results with half the effort. It was actually like the high-grade rooms on the spirit ship. This time, Jiyu was going to the Xian Vein Formation specifically to increase his cultivation. Ding! Master has taken a step. Low-grade Earth rank Xian skill lightning luster change gained experience. 1 by 999 times. Ding! Master has taken a step. Low-grade earth rank Xian skill lightning luster change gained experience. 1 by 999 times. In order to hide his tracks, Ji couldn't use his movement technique. He could only walk. Fortunately, he wasn't too far away from the profound veins formation, so it didn't take long for him to arrive near the profound veins formation. Many martial cultivators could be seen walking in and out. The overall level of martial arts was very high. They were either in the defensive profound realm or the Tongxian realm. The price of renting a cultivation room within the profound veins formation was also very expensive. Martial cultivators without a certain amount of strength and capital would not be able to afford it. This was not because the palace was greedy, but because the profound vein formation required a huge amount of money to maintain. After all, this was an ancient formation that had been passed down for tens of thousands of years. What Ji lacked the least right now was gold coins. No matter how expensive the cultivation room was, he could rent it as he pleased. From the outside, the profound vein formation looked like a grand hall. It was in the shape of a pyramid with 4 floors. Apart from the main hall, the rest of the space was occupied by cultivation rooms. I want to rent a top-notch cultivation room for 7 days. After walking into the hall, Ji slapped a storage ring onto the table. Because he had too many gold coins on him, he had to use a pile of storage rings to store them. The gold coins in this storage ring was more than 10% of his total asset. Such a huge amount of gold coins was enough for him to rent a top-notch cultivation room for 10 days to half a month. The people standing at the front desk were stunned. The other people who wanted to rent a cultivation room were also stunned. F***ck. He just opened his mouth and asked for a 7-day top-notch cultivation room. What a freaking rich person. F***ck. Could it be that some family's young master came out to squander money? I'm afraid his father will be angered to death by him. A 7-day top-notch cultivation room. Is this the difference between people? I can only afford to rent a low-level cultivation room for an hour. A group of people's gazes were attracted to Ji. They were discussing animatedly. In this profound vein formation, there were a total of 4 types of cultivation rooms. They were low-level cultivation room, mid-level cultivation room, high-level cultivation room, and top-notch cultivation room. It was obvious that the low-level cultivation room was the worst, while the top-notch cultivation room was the best. Among them, the low-level cultivation room's profound chi density was about twice that of the outside world. The mid-level cultivation room was about 3 times that of the outside world. The high-level cultivation room was about 5 times that of the outside world. The top-notch cultivation room was about 10 times that of the outside world. The rental price was also different. Each was more expensive than the other. Ordinary martial cultivators could only afford to rent a low-level cultivation room. Those who could afford to rent a mid-level cultivation room were considered rich people. Only the young masters of large forces and large families could afford to rent a high-level cultivation room. Moreover, they could only rent it for a short period of time. Under normal circumstances, even those young masters would not casually rent a high-level cultivation room, because it was too wasteful. As for a top-notch cultivation room, they did not even dare to think about it. Those who had the financial resources to rent a top-notch cultivation room were basically big shots like the leaders of large forces. To give a simple example, the amount of gold coins needed to rent a top-notch cultivation room for 7 days was enough to make a middle-class family go bankrupt. That was why this group of people were so excited. It was because this was the first time they had such close contact with such a rich person. At this moment, the receptionist who was closest to Ji picked up the storage ring and checked it with his spiritual power. He saw countless gold coins. It was simply impossible to count them. He hurriedly took the ring and used a special instrument to verify the value of the gold coins inside. He hurriedly ran back and said to Ji with incomparable respect, "Sir, this is your token." The gold coins in that storage ring just now was enough to rent a top-notch cultivation room for more than 10 days. This black-robed man was definitely a big shot. Moreover, hearing this big shot say rent for 7 days first, it meant that this big shot was just trying to rent it for 7 days. It was very likely that he would continue to rent it later. He did not dare to slight this kind of big shot who spent gold coins like waste paper. At this moment, in front of Gu was a black token with distinct edges and corners. It gave people a classical and heavy feeling. There was a number engraved on it, 6. It was very obvious that this was the meaning of the number 6 cultivation room. Gu took the black token. At this time, the receptionist continued to use a flattering tone. There is still half of the gold coins left. This little one has already kept it for you. After 7 days, if you want to renew the lease, you can just use the gold coins. If you don't want to renew the lease, this little one will immediately return it to you. Because the gold coins had to be manually sorted out, there was no way to return the remaining gold coins to the owner immediately. The main thing was that Gu used a storage ring and not a merchant card. If it was a merchant card, it would be very convenient. The balance in the merchant card could be directly deducted. As you wish, Gu said indifferently. Hearing this, the receptionist became even more respectful. He admired this kind of big shot who did not care about money the most. This little one will bring you to the number 6 cultivation room. The receptionist respectfully led the way for Gu. The other receptionists could not wait to find the supervisor. This time, a big shot came. Chapter 283. Everyone was filled with admiration as they watched the big shot's silhouette disappear into the distance. When would they be able to have that kind of money? Soon, Gu followed the receptionist to the top floor of the hall, which was the 4th floor. There were fewer cultivation rooms on each floor. The first floor had the most cultivation rooms, and they were all low-level cultivation rooms. The second floor had intermediate-level cultivation rooms, and the third floor had advanced-level cultivation rooms. The 4th floor had the least amount of cultivation rooms, and there were only 10 of them. These 10 cultivation rooms, without exception, were all top-notch cultivation rooms. Sir, you just need to put the token in here, and then inject your mental strength into it. The receptionist brought Gu to the door of cultivation room number 6, and pointed at a groove on the door. Gu followed the receptionist's instructions, and at the same time, he observed a meaningless detail. Cultivation rooms number 1 to 5 all had tokens on the door, but rooms 6 to 10 did not. This meant that cultivation rooms 1 to 5 were all occupied, while cultivation rooms 6 to 10 were still empty. However, room number 6 would soon have an owner, and that was Gu. After inserting the black token into the groove perfectly, Gu immediately instilled his mental strength into the token. Ding! Master has instilled his mental strength. Bronze level mental strength, experience gained. 1 by 999 times. The next moment, the door of the cultivation room seemed to be activated, and opened automatically. Sir, you just need to go in directly. The receptionist continued. When Sir wants to come out, just inject your mental strength, and the door will open automatically, and the token will be pulled out. Gu nodded slightly, and then walked into cultivation room number 6. The moment he stepped into the cultivation room, he could feel that the surrounding mystic chi was indeed 10 times thicker. At the same time, the cultivation room seemed to be able to sense Gu's presence, and the door closed automatically. In this large space, Gu sat down and immediately entered cultivation mode. Ding! Master has cultivated mystic chi. Martial cultivation, experience gained. 100 by 999 times. Ding! Master has cultivated Xian Qi, martial cultivation, experience gained. 100 by 999 times. In these 7 days, Gu planned to devote herself to cultivating her profound Qi and not take any pills. He wanted to completely stabilize his cultivation base and solve the problem of his foundation being unstable due to taking too many pills. By the end of the first day, Ji had completely stabilized her early stage of LV5 Tongxian realm. By the end of the second day, Zhang Xian had reached the peak of Tongxian realm LV5. By the end of the third day, he had successfully broken through to the intermediate stage of LV5 Tongxian realm. By the end of the seventh day, Jiu's cultivation base had reached late stage LV5 Tongxian realm, and she was not far from peak stage LV5 Tongxian realm. 7 days passed in the blink of an eye. Jiu was quite satisfied with her experience in the top-notch cultivation room this time. Not only did he get rid of the hidden danger of an unstable foundation, he even broke through 2 small realms consecutively. The increase in cultivation brought about a huge increase in strength. When one's cultivation base reached the Tongxian realm, every small breakthrough brought about a huge increase in strength. If the current Jiu used an Earth-class sword technique and sword principle true meaning, she could instantly kill most LV6 Tongxian realm experts. When the time was up, Jiu activated her spiritual energy again. Ding! Master has activated her spiritual energy, bronze level spiritual energy experience gained. 1 by 999 times. In the next moment, the door opened automatically. After Jiu walked out of the cultivation room, she took out the black token and the door closed again. Just as she was about to go downstairs, she saw the person walking out of cultivation room number 7. This person was actually someone Jiu knew, Zhuang Weiran. Zhuang Weiran was dressed as a man. She was rubbing her chin while sizing up Jiu. Jiu was not in the mood to chat with Zhuang Weiran, so he pretended not to know her and walked past her. But when he walked past her, she suddenly said, "You're Jiu, right?" Jiu's footsteps paused for a moment, but she still pretended not to hear anything. "Stop pretending, I know you're Jiu." Zhuang Weiran walked up and grabbed Jiu's wrist. Knowing that there was no more pretending, Jiu stopped pretending. "How did you recognize me?" Jiu asked helplessly. Although he was dressed like this, he pretended not to know Zhuang Weiran, but Zhuang Weiran was still sure that he was Jiu. "This is a woman's intuition," Zhuang Weiran said proudly. "All right." Jiu was a little speechless. "You're also cultivating here." Regardless of whether a woman's intuition was right or not, he decided to change his appearance in the future. If he kept dressing like this, he would be easily recognized. "I wanted to break through my cultivation recently, so I came here to cultivate." After saying that, Zhuang Weiran said proudly, "By the way, our royal family has 1 day of free cultivation in the top-grade cultivation room every month." "Oh, that's good," Jiu said casually. "Don't be so perfunctory," Zhuang Weiran said unhappily. "But I didn't expect you to be so rich. Yesterday when I came, I saw that cultivation room number 6 was already occupied," Zhuang Weiran said with surprise. "It's just SOSO," Jiu said. "If there's nothing else, I'll go down and rent the cultivation room." "Sai, you're still the same," Zhuang Weiran said sentimentally. "Forget it, I'm going back soon anyway." Suddenly, she thought of something. "Oh right, I almost forgot about something," Zhuang Weiran said. 10 days later, it will be the beast hunting ceremony that happens once every 10 years. I wanted to invite you to participate, but I couldn't find you these past few days." Beast hunting ceremony, Jiu knew about it. The beast hunting ceremony, simply put, was a competition to hunt and kill beasts. Usually, it was a competition in teams, with 5 people in each team. This competition was specially created by the palace to suppress the beasts in the Beast Mountain range. The beasts' reproduction rate was much faster than humans. If it wasn't controlled for too many years, it would cause a disaster like the beast tide. The last beast tide happened a few hundred years ago, and the city that was attacked was Chaoyang Ancient City. The reason why Chaoyang Ancient City was so inconspicuous among the many ancient cities in the Kanglan Empire was because it was heavily damaged by the beast tide. It was only now that it recovered slightly. Since that beast tide, the Kanglan Empire would hold a beast hunting ceremony every 10 years, mainly to suppress the beast's reproduction rate. And how about it? Do you want to participate with me? Zhuang Weiran said with anticipation. So, what's the benefit? Ji Yu didn't beat around the bush and asked directly. Chapter 284. Benefits. Zhuang Weiran was slightly stunned. Yes. Ji Yu said matter-of-factly. You want me to help you without any benefits? That's the beast hunting ceremony. The top rankers will get generous rewards. Before Zhuang Weiran could finish, she was interrupted by Ji Yu. That belongs to that person. Moreover, that's what I deserve. The beast hunting ceremony hadn't started yet, but Ji Yu was already 100% confident that he would be able to get first place. To put it bluntly, no matter who he teamed up with, the first place would be his. You really, Zhuang Weiran was completely speechless. Sigh, forget it. This token will be your reward. If you want anything else, I can't give you anything else. With that, Zhuang Weiran threw the black token to Ji Yu. This is, Ji Yu took a closer look and realized that it was the token for cultivation room number 6. I've been saving this token for a long time. There's still a time limit of 10 days in it. Don't be ungrateful. Zhuang Weiran said. Ji Yu went silent for a moment and said, All right, I'll take this. Cultivation room number 6 was also a top-notch cultivation room. To be able to use this token to cultivate for 10 days and there was quite a good benefit. Really? Zhuang Weiran sighed. Then you and I will be on the same team. We need a total of 5 people to form a team. I have 2 friends here who will be joining us. You just have to find another one. That's not a problem. Ji Yu nodded. The beast hunting ceremony didn't have anything to do with the faction's honor. Anyone from any faction could form a team. However, there was a strict requirement for the beast hunting ceremony, which was that the participants had to be below 22 years old and above Defensive Mystic Realm level 5. Otherwise, they would be forcefully expelled. After all, the Beast Mountain range was filled with dangers. Those who didn't have a high enough cultivation would only be sending themselves to their deaths. As for the age limit, it was for balance. Among all the people that Ji Yu knew, only Qi Ling could meet the requirement. Jiang Yuechu and Jiang Yuexin were still a little bit away from reaching the 5th level of the defensive profound realm, so they couldn't participate in the beast hunting ceremony with him. In that case, only Qi Ling was left. To be honest, Ji Yu didn't really want to interact with Qi Ling. Although that woman wasn't a threat to him, she was really annoying. However, given the current situation, Ji Yu had no choice but to look for Qi Ling. Alright, then you should go back and prepare as well. Just meet me here tomorrow morning. Zhuang Weiran said, When the time comes, I will explain the rules of the beast hunting ceremony to you all. After chatting for a while, Ji Yu and Zhuang Weiran went back to their own places. Ding. Master took a step forward. Earth rank low grade profound skill lightning luster transformation gained experience. 1 by 999 times. Ding. Master took a step forward. Earth rank low grade profound skill lightning luster transformation gained experience. 1 by 999 times. After Ji Yu returned to the Qianyuan Martial House, he went straight to the Violet Gold Palace. Firstly, he wanted to talk to Master Morong about something. Secondly, he wanted to know where Qi Ling was. Master, I have something to tell you. After entering the Violet Gold Palace, Ji Yu immediately asked Master Morong. What is it? You should know about the Evolving Temple, right? Ji Yu said solemnly. They have already made a move on you? Morong Zili's purple eyes moved slightly. After hearing this, Ji Yu was sure that Master Morong knew about the Evolving Temple. Not yet, but it won't be long now. Ji Yu said, What I want to say is that Yu Chu was also one of the targets of the evolving temple. Yu Chu too? Murong Zili was slightly surprised. Although the risk of Yu Chu being targeted isn't high, I still can't completely relax. Hence, I hope that Master Murong can help me protect Yu Chu and Yueshin. Ji Yu said. You don't have to worry about the two sisters. You, on the other hand, should stay in the Qianyuan martial house for the time being. Even though Murong Zili's expression was still cold, a trace of worry could be seen in her purple eyes at this moment. No, I'm preparing to participate in the beast hunting ceremony. Ji Yu shook her head. Murong Zili frowned slightly. Do you know how terrifying the evolving temple is? I know. I know what to do when the time comes. Ji Yu said confidently. Seeing Ji Yu's expression, the worry in Murong Zili's eyes lessened a little. Then do as you wish. This martial house master won't restrict you. However, this martial house master still has to remind you that you can't be careless when facing the evolving temple. I understand. Ji Yu said. Right, martial house master, do you know where Qi Ling is now? She just came back from my place not long ago. She should be at the maple forest right now. Murong Zili said. She didn't ask why Ji Yu was looking for Qi Ling. This was because she already guessed that Ji Yu should be looking for Qi Ling to participate in the beast hunting ceremony together. She didn't care much about the beast hunting ceremony. This was because she was certain that with Ji Yu's strength, it would be a piece of cake for her to obtain first place in the beast hunting ceremony. Alright, then I'll take my leave first. After saying what needed to be said, Ji Yu walked out of the violet gold hall. The evolving temple. I've already fallen to the point where I need to worry about a mere branch hall. At this moment, Murong Zili's gaze was slightly lax, seemingly flickering with a trace of bitterness. Chapter 285. Ding. Master has used the lightning luster transformation. Obtained experience points, 1000 by 999 times. As soon as Ji Yu walked out of the violet gold palace, he immediately used his movement skill. In just a breath, he appeared in the maple forest. After taking a few steps in the maple forest, he suddenly realized that this was the second time he had come to this place. The last time he came here, he had seen Qi Ling's naked body. Previously, Ji Yu did not realize it. Fortunately, he remembered it at the last minute. However, it was already too late. Ji Yu was just wondering if Qi Ling had come here to take a bath again. Speaking of the devil appeared. Qi Ling walked out of the dense grass, but this time, she was not as naked as last time. Her private parts had been covered by clothes, and the exposed skin was as smooth as jade. There were still some water droplets on it that had not been wiped dry. Obviously, she had just come out of the stream after bathing. Ever since Ji Yu saw her naked, Qi Ling was much more cautious every time she took a bath here. Ji Yu? Why are you here? Qi Ling's first reaction was surprise when she saw Ji Yu. But in the next moment she realized that something was wrong. Immediately, her expression changed. You are really a hooligan? Qi Ling said angrily. Are you not satisfied with seeing me last time? Do you want to do it again this time? Fortunately, she had already put on her underwear. Otherwise, this guy would have gotten away with it again. Can I say that this time is still an accident? Ji Yu said awkwardly. He had never thought of peeping at Qi Ling. This time, it was completely unintentional. Who would believe the nonsense of a hooligan like you? Qi Ling said disdainfully. It's up to you whether you believe it or not. Ji Yu was also a little angry. Use your brain and think about it. If I really wanted to do something to you, do you think I would peep at you like this? What? However, Qi Ling misunderstood what Ji Yu meant. Not only do you want to peek at me, but you also want to force yourself on me? She couldn't help but instinctively protect her own body. She looked at Ji Yu in fear and couldn't help but slowly retreat. Isn't that right? Ji felt that this was a good opportunity to teach Qi Ling a lesson, so she decided to make the best of it. With a smug smile on his face, he walked toward Qi Ling. You? What do you want? Don't come over! Qi Ling panicked. He retreated further, but was blocked by a tree. At this time, Ji had also approached. Seeing that Ji was so close to her, Qi Ling's heartbeat quickened. Suddenly, in the midst of her extreme panic and uneasiness, a trace of anticipation actually rose in her heart. Her body stiffened, but her eyes slowly closed. Her long eyelashes trembled slightly, as if she was waiting for something. Ji sensed that something was wrong and stopped in time. Looking at Qi Ling who had her eyes closed and her head slightly raised, he was dumbfounded. He had only wanted to tease her, but he didn't expect her to get carried away. He suddenly felt a deep sense of guilt, and he felt that he couldn't let this continue. Qi Ling had already mentally prepared herself, but at this moment she suddenly heard a cough. She opened her eyes in confusion. Ahem, ahem. Let's stop joking. Let's get down to business. Ji intentionally avoided Qi Ling's eyes. I'm here to invite you to participate in the beast hunting ceremony. At this moment, Qi Ling finally came back to her senses. Knowing that it was just a joke, she lowered her head slightly. No, why not? Ji didn't expect Qi Ling to reject him so directly. No means no. There's no why. After saying that, Qi Ling turned around and left quickly. Ji was at a loss for words. Clearly, Qi Ling was angry. He immediately regretted it. If he had known earlier, he wouldn't have teased Qi Ling. Not only did he not gain anything from it, but he also made things more troublesome. Qi Ling walked further and further away, but Ji didn't plan to chase after her. He wanted to wait for Qi Ling to calm down before looking for her. After leaving the maple forest, Ji returned to the Violet Gold Palace. He went to ask Murong Manor Head about Qi Ling's whereabouts and told him about what had just happened. Mansion Master Murong didn't seem to be surprised. Other than telling him where Qi Ling lived, he didn't say anything else. After returning to his room, Ji tidied up the room that he hadn't used for many days. Then, he began to cultivate his celestial qi, Ding. Master has cultivated martial Dao for 1 minute. Martial Dao cultivation experience points gained. 10 by 999 times. Ding. Master has cultivated martial Dao for 1 minute. Martial Dao cultivation experience points gained. 10 by 999 times. The next day, Ji felt that Qi Ling had calmed down, so he went to the place that Mansion Master Murong had told him about. Qi Ling lived in a courtyard that was filled with the fragrance of flowers and plants. Chapter 286. Isn't that Senior Ji? What's he doing in the female dormitory? Who knows? But Senior Ji seems to have a good relationship with Jiang Yuechu and Jiang Yuexin. I saw them go straight to the male dormitory to look for Senior Ji. Sigh, I'm so envious of those sisters. Now, not only was Ji famous, but she had also become the object of admiration of many female students. Compared to the chief disciple, they preferred to address Ji as Senior Ji. However, Ji was here purely to look for Qi Ling. At the same time, in a house far away, Qi Ling was lying on the bed in a half-asleep state. The incident yesterday had caused her to be unable to sleep well the entire night. Hearing the noise outside the window getting louder and louder, Qi Ling couldn't fall asleep. She was so annoyed that she got out of bed and opened the window to see what was going on outside. However, what happened next left Qi Ling flabbergasted. The bastard who had caused her to be unable to sleep well the entire night was actually outside, and behind him was a group of girls who came to join in the fun. This was the female dormitory. What was this bastard doing here? Qi Ling's sleepiness instantly disappeared, and she was completely awake. Qi Ling. When they arrived at the courtyard, Ji called out, Qi Ling. So Senior Ji isn't here to look for Jiang Yuechu and Jiang Yuexin? Speaking of which, why is Senior Ji looking for Qi Ling? Only Senior Ji would be so domineering as to specially come to Qi Ling Er's dormitory to look for her. After all, she's famous for hating boys. There's another important point. Senior Ling and those sisters are all the Academy Master's disciples, and they actually have a close relationship with Senior Ji. Ji Yu's shout caused the female students behind her to start discussing amongst themselves. At this moment, Qi Ling was dumbfounded. Not only did that bastard deliberately come to her courtyard, but he even shouted her name. More importantly, so many people heard him. In a moment of panic, she didn't know what to do. She simply hid behind the wall beside the window, not wanting to show her face. Just now, Ji Yu had seen Qi Ling standing in the window, but now, she didn't come out. "Are you still angry about what happened yesterday?" he asked loudly. Qi Ling was dumbfounded upon hearing those words. She really wanted to rush down and scold Ji Yu for being an idiot. How could you say such things here? Now that so many people had heard it, all kinds of rumors would definitely spread throughout the entire Qianyuan martial house. Just as she had expected, almost all the female students around her immediately began to gossip. Yesterday? What happened to Senior Ji and Senior Ling yesterday? Could it be that Senior Ji did something unspeakable to Senior Ling yesterday? That's very possible. I guess Senior Ling must be very shy and hiding in her room right now. Not only were they gossiping, but they also began to let their imaginations run wild. They thought of all the wonderful things that could happen that were beyond words. At this moment, Jiang Yuexin hurried over. Jiang Yuechu, who was following behind her, was very calm. They had heard that Ji Yu came to the female dormitory area, so they immediately rushed over. Jiang Yuexin was about to go forward and call Ji Yu, but Jiang Yuechu stopped her. "Wait a minute. Let's see what's going on first," Jiang Yuechu said calmly. All right, although Jiang Yuexin was anxious, she still chose to listen to her sister. "May I ask what happened here?" Jiang Yuechu asked a female student beside her. "Fortunately, you came in time. Otherwise, you might have missed it. Not only did Senior Ji specially come here to look for Senior Ling it seems that something embarrassing happened between them yesterday." Because that female student's gaze was focused on Ji Yu, she didn't notice who was asking the question at first. Embarrassing? Jiang Yuexin's imagination instantly ran wild, and her face turned red. At this moment, that female student turned her head around. At first glance, she didn't react. She hurriedly looked back a second time, and realized that it was actually Jiang Yuechu and Jiang Yuexin. Unfortunately, this person's interest was to make a bigger deal out of a situation. When she came back to her senses, she immediately shouted, "Jiang Yuechu and Jiang Yuexin are here too." This shout attracted countless gazes. Originally, in the eyes of most female students, Jiang Yuechu and Jiang Yuexin had a very ambiguous relationship with Ji Yu. When they saw Jiang Yuechu and Jiang Yuexin appear, they immediately became even more excited. Hearing someone call Yu Chu and Yu Xian's names, even Ji Yu couldn't help but look back. At this moment, Jiang Yuexin finally couldn't help but rush forward and ask Ji Yu, "What happened between you and Qi Ling?" Ji Yu didn't expect Jiang Yuexin to come over, and there was a trace of surprise on her face. "Actually, nothing happened. Who's going to believe your nonsense?" Jiang Yuexin scolded. "Ji Yu, you are really—" Jiang Yuechu also walked over slowly and looked at Ji Yu with a very speechless look. Ji Yu couldn't help but be a little stunned. Then, he looked at the surrounding female students who were full of gossips. Only then did he suddenly realize that he shouldn't have come to find Qi Ling so directly. The whole situation was developing in an uncontrollable direction. Chapter 287. Wow, isn't this the legendary triangle relationship? You're wrong. This should be a four-cornered relationship. Can't you see that there are 4 people here? No matter what, this is an earth-shattering event. The peerless and unparalleled senior brother G has an ambiguous dispute with 3 of the most beautiful girls in our martial house. Sure enough, even heroes can't resist the charms of beautiful women. All the female students' gossipy souls were burning fiercely. Originally, Gu was the most popular person in the Qianyuan martial house. It would be strange if this kind of thing didn't cause a sensation. Gu was a little overwhelmed by the situation. He didn't expect things to develop to this point. Look at your guilty look. You're hiding something, right? In Jiang Yuexin's opinion, Gu was guilty, so she asked closely. Jiang Yuechu didn't say anything. She kept looking at Gu with a speechless and disdainful look. Gu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He didn't dare to say anything. If he really explained what happened yesterday, he was afraid that not only would the situation not improve, but it would also develop in a more troublesome direction. Qi Ling who had been hiding in the room, finally couldn't stand at this moment. She stood by the window and shouted with a red face, "What do you want to say? If you're done, go die quickly. Die 100 times, die 1,000 times." This time, she was really angry at Gu. It was the first time that she cursed so harshly. "I invited you yesterday. Can you accept my invitation?" Gu thought that there should be no problem if he said that. However, he still miscalculated. Does it mean that Senior G confessed to Senior Ling yesterday? It must be. Otherwise, why would Senior Ling be so shy and come out after so long? As expected of Senior G, he dares to confess to Senior Ling in front of so many people. Those female students completely ignored the first half of Gu's sentence and made all kinds of assumptions about the second half. Gu didn't expect that this would be considered a confession by them. "Say yes. Say yes." Voices surged out like a tidal wave. The surrounding female students all cheered together. "Ah!" Qi Ling grabbed her hair frantically. This misunderstanding had become even bigger, and she was about to be annoyed to death. I promise you. After saying that, Qi Ling slammed the window shut. Then, she lay on the bed and buried her red face into the pillow. Idiot! Hearing that Senior Sister Ling really agreed, the female students all cheered as if they had encountered something especially worth being happy about. Gu was still a little confused. Suddenly, he heard Jiang Yuexin's deep voice. He knew that something was wrong. "Womanizer!" Jiang Yuexin shouted and ran away. Jiang Yuechu helplessly gave Gu a meaningful look and then chased after her. Gu was stunned for a while. When he came to his senses, he quickly chased after her. After all, he didn't know what to do other than chasing after her. Ding! Master has used Lightning Luster Transformation. Lightning Luster Transformation gained experience. 1000 by 999 times. By using an Earth Rank movement technique, Gu caught up with Jiang Yuexin in an instant. "Don't run so fast. Listen to my explanation first." Gu stood in front of Jiang Yuexin. "I don't want to." However, Jiang Yuexin didn't want to listen to Gu's explanation at all. She had already confessed in front of so many people. What else was there to explain? Only Jiang Yuechu trusted Gu more. She had long seen that the other girls were fooling around. Just as she was about to help Gu persuade her, she saw Gu hug Jiang Yuexin first. Gu really had no choice but to use this method to calm Jiang Yuexin down. At this moment, Jiang Yuexin's delicate body froze. Her eyes were filled with surprise. She didn't expect Gu to hug her like this. "Listen to me properly. Yesterday, I only invited Qi Ling to participate in the beast hunting ceremony. It wasn't a confession at all. So you all misunderstood." In order to avoid further misunderstanding, Gu omitted the process of meeting Qi Ling yesterday. Is this really the case? Being hugged so tightly by Gu Jiang Yuexin's voice suddenly weakened. One could see that her face was red all the way to her ears. If you don't believe me, you can ask Qi Ling herself, Ji Yu said in a firm tone. I believe you. Then can you let go of me? Jiang Yuexin said weakly and shyly. Oh, okay. Ji Yu immediately let go of Jiang Yuexin. Jiang Yuexin's body immediately went limp. She almost couldn't stand still. Ji Yu couldn't help but feel a little surprised that her move was so lethal. Yuexin, you're already engaged. Why are you still so shy? At this moment, Jiang Yuechu snickered at the side. It's none of your business. A big misunderstanding was quietly resolved amidst a string of bashful voices and bell-like laughter. Chapter 288. After joking around for a while, Jiang Yuexin gradually calmed down as well. By the way, why didn't my sister and I get invited to the beast hunting ceremony? Why did you have to invite Qi Ling? Feeling that something was wrong, Jiang Yuexin questioned again. It was easy for Ji Yu to explain. I wanted to, but you have not reached LV5 of the defensive profound realm yet. The minimum requirement for the beast hunting ceremony is to reach LV5 of the defensive profound realm, so I could only invite Qi Ling. Ji Yu said innocently. He checked and found that Jiang Yuechu was still at LV4 of the defensive profound realm. Although she was not far from LV5 of the defensive profound realm, the requirement for the beast hunting ceremony was mandatory. As for Jiang Yuexin, her progress was much slower than Jiang Yuechu's because she was too playful. Oh, is that so? Jiang Yuexin nodded and said, Then I'll believe you for now. In fact, she had only heard of the beast hunting ceremony, but she did not know the rules of the beast hunting ceremony. However, seeing that Ji Yu did not seem to be lying, she reluctantly believed her. At this moment, Jiang Yuechu wanted to say something but stopped. In the end, she said, Ji Yu, remember to be careful. Don't be careless. She wanted to remind Ji Yu to be careful, but after thinking about it, it seemed that no one could threaten Ji Yu in the beast hunting ceremony. However, she felt that it was better to remind her. If you dare to get hurt, I won't let you get away with it. Jiang Yuexin waved her little fist and threatened. Okay, you don't have to worry about me. Ji Yu could not help but feel warm in her heart as she said with a smile. Her smile made Jiang Yuechu and Jiang Yuexin feel relieved. That's all. I'll go back first. At this moment, Ji Yu suddenly became serious. Also, you better not leave the Qianyuan martial mansion for a while. Just cultivate with mansion master Murong. Okay. Yes. Jiang Yuechu and Jiang Yuexin nodded. They were not stupid. They knew that Ji Yu had made more potential enemies, and they were all very powerful. Even if they couldn't help Ji Yu now, they would try their best not to cause any trouble for Ji Yu. What's more, they were eager to help Ji Yu, so all the more reason for them to obediently follow their master and cultivate diligently. It didn't take long for Ji Yu's incident to spread all over the Qianyuan martial mansion. For a moment, all the male compatriots in the manor were complaining. Originally, they were just guessing, but they didn't expect it to be true. What made them collapse the most was that Qi Ling, Jiang Yuechu, and Jiang Yuexin, who were the three most beautiful women in the Qianyuan martial house, had all become Ji Yu's women. Although they respected Ji Yu very much now, it was impossible for them not to feel sad when the three most beautiful women who they thought about day and night were taken away by someone else at the same time. This news even spread to Murong Zili. Of course, Murong Zili wasn't like ordinary people who would just listen to the wind and listen to the rain. Based on her understanding of Ji Yu, she was sure that Ji Yu wanted to invite Qi Ling to participate in the beast hunting ceremony together. As for why there was so much trouble, she couldn't figure it out. However, Ji Yu didn't particularly care about this. Anyway, Qi Ling had already accepted his invitation, so other things didn't matter to him. Previously, he had arranged to meet with Zhuang Weiran at the top-grade cultivation room today, so he had to prepare and set off later. As for Qi Ling, it would only be more troublesome if he wanted to find her now, so he didn't bring Qi Ling along. In order to avoid being noticed, Ji Yu changed into a clean white robe. This way, he wouldn't be recognized easily. As expected, from the male dormitory to the outside of the Qianyuan Martial House, no one recognized him. Because many of the Martial House's students were in their second year of middle school, many of them imitated Ji Yu and dressed themselves up in black, gray, and white robes. Nowadays, in the Qianyuan Martial House, there were many who dressed like Ji Yu. Therefore, as long as Ji Yu didn't reveal his true appearance, no one would be able to recognize him. Of course, it wasn't the same for women who were familiar with him. Ever since he was recognized by Zhuang Weiran, he didn't understand women's intuition anymore. Ding. Master has taken a step. Low-grade Earth rank profound skill lightning ray transformation obtained experience points. 1 by 999 times. Ding. Master has taken a step. Low-grade Earth rank profound skill lightning ray transformation obtained experience points. 1 by 999 times. Ji Yu arrived at the Xian Meridian Formation at the agreed time with Zhuang Weiran. Although he had changed his attire this time, he still had the black token on him from last time, which was the token for Cultivation Room number 5. Of course, there was definitely more than one token for Cultivation Room number 5. His was just one of the many tokens. Every token had a clear record in the Xian Meridian Formation. When Ji Yu flashed his token, the staff at the front desk recognized him. "Master, you're here." That person immediately flattered. Originally, the surrounding people didn't care about Ji Yu. But when they heard the staff at the front desk, they immediately turned to the mysterious man in white robe. What kind of big shot could make the staff at the front desk so respectful? When they saw the token in the hands of the mysterious man in white robes, they instantly understood. In the Xian Meridian Formation, there were only 10 top-grade cultivation rooms. They were cultivation rooms number 1 to 10. And cultivation room number 5 was one of them. What did a top-grade cultivation room mean? Everyone knew in their hearts what it meant. This was definitely not an ordinary big shot. Everyone's eyes immediately became respectful. No one dared to offend this mysterious man in white robes. "This little one will bring you up now." That person was just about to lead the way for Ji Yu. But he was rejected by Ji Yu. "No need, I can go up by myself." The matter of meeting with Zhuang Weiran on the 4th floor definitely couldn't be casually seen by outsiders. "Alright then, Master, take care." Soon after, Ji Yu went up to the 4th floor one after another. Once he reached the 4th floor, he saw Zhuang Weiran waiting in front of cultivation room number 6. Today's makeup was still the same. It was still neutral. And beside her, there were 2 beautiful twin girls with extraordinary temperaments. Chapter 289. One of them was wearing a light blue dress with a blue gem necklace around her neck. The other girl was completely different. She was wearing a purple dress with a purple gem necklace. The only thing that didn't change was that the 2 girls looked almost the same. Without a doubt, they were definitely twins. Logically speaking, Ji Yu should have seen these 2 girls before. Since they were able to participate in the beast hunting ceremony with Zhuang Weiran, they wouldn't be weak. In fact, they weren't weak at all. He could see that the 2 girls were at the 7th level of the defensive profound realm. 7th level of the defensive profound realm. Excluding him, they would be considered the strongest in the Qianyuan Martial House. They would be around the same in the Qinxian sect. But he didn't see these 2 girls at the 3 sects tournament. That was a little strange. Could it be that these 2 girls weren't from the 3 Holy Lands? If these 2 girls weren't from the 3 Holy Lands, then it would make sense. Because other powers couldn't participate in the 3 sects tournament. Just as Ji Yu was about to greet the 2 girls, she heard a voice that was not very friendly. "Sister Weiran, is this the other teammate we are waiting for?" Why does it look so ordinary? This was the voice of the girl in the purple dress. She didn't seem to think highly of Ji-yu. At this moment, Ji-yu's impression of this young girl was instantly lowered. It seemed like she was another self-righteous and arrogant woman. How boring. Jiang, it's not good to say that, right? At this moment, the girl in the blue dress said. Although she was trying to dissuade the girl in the purple dress, her tone was very weak and didn't sound dignified at all. What's wrong with that? Did I say something wrong? The girl in the purple dress said disapprovingly. Okay, you two stop talking. Zhuang Weiran sent the two girls away. You two go down first. I'll talk to him for a while. After the two girls walked down the stairs, Zhuang Weiran said to Ji-yu, those two are Qing Ye and Qing Jiangjiang. They are from the Pajuan Empire. Pajuan Empire. Ji-yu had heard of the Pajuan Empire. It was one of the empires in the southern region. The most popular occupation there was the array master. That was all he knew. Because I wasn't sure if you wanted to reveal your identity, I didn't tell them. Zhuang Weiran continued. Qing Jiangjiang's personality is a bit unruly, but she's not a bad person. I hope you don't take it to heart. No. Ji-yu waved her hand. As long as she doesn't provoke me for no reason. In his eyes, that Qing Jiangjiang was at most a child. He wouldn't lower himself to the same level as that girl. Although, strictly speaking, he was still a child at the age of 16. Then I'm relieved. Zhuang Weiran said. I met them by chance. Coincidentally, they are all geniuses in the Shattering Army Empire. They will be of great help to us when we participate in the beast hunting ceremony, so I invited them. Array formation. Ji-yu said lightly. What a coincidence. I know a thing or two about this. I didn't expect you to be interested in formations as well. Zhuang Weiran said in surprise. If there is a chance, I can ask Qing Yu and Qing Jiangjiang to teach you. That's too polite. Ji-yu said humbly. He just didn't want to say it out loud. There really wasn't anyone who could teach him. It wasn't that he was arrogant, but it was the truth. Speaking of which, have you found someone? Zhuang Weiran asked. Yes, but it's not convenient for her to come today. I'll bring her to you before the beast hunting ceremony starts. Ji-yu said. Alright, then let's go down and talk in a place where there is no one. Zhuang Weiran said. But at this moment, the door to the fourth cultivation room suddenly opened. Ji-yu took a look and realized it was a youth wearing a robe with 5 claws and 9 pythons. Looking at his attire, he knew he was a member of the royal family. Especially that robe with 5 claws and 9 pythons. It symbolized the identity of the royal family's prince. Zhuang Weiran was the 6th youngest among the Canglan princes. This youth should be Zhuang Weiran's royal brother. However, this young man only coldly glanced at Zhuang Weiran and left. He should be your royal brother, right? Why does it seem like you don't have a good relationship with him? Ji-yu asked casually. Yes, he is my 5th brother Zhuang Kunji. Maybe it's because my royal father spoiled me since I was young, so he always hated me. Zhuang Weiran said calmly. I see, let's go. Ji-yu stopped talking. This was the royal family's matter. He didn't need to ask. Ding. Master has taken a step. Earth rank low grade profound skill lightning ray transformation gained experience. 1 by 999 times. Ding. Master has taken a step. Earth rank low grade profound skill lightning ray transformation gained experience. 1 by 999 times. Ji-yu, Zhuang Weiran and the Qing sisters entered the palace together. This was Ji-yu's first time in the palace. Not only was it magnificent, but it also gave him a sense of historical greatness. Although there was a bit of unpleasantness on the way here, Ji-yu didn't even bother with Qing Jiangjiang. So it didn't cause any trouble. The other party didn't react at all. Qing Jiangjiang also seemed to feel bored and didn't continue. After entering the palace, Zhuang Weiran brought them to a quiet and beautiful lotus pond. There was no one nearby. It seemed like this was Zhuang Weiran's exclusive place. Chapter 290. Next, I'll tell you the rules of the beast hunting ceremony, as well as the tactics and other aspects. Zhuang Weiran said, when the beast hunting ceremony starts, every team will be randomly assigned to the outer regions of the beast mountain range. The time limit is 24 hours, and the final score will be based on the number of skulls of the beast. Different levels of beasts will have different points. Teams can steal beasts from each other, but they can't kill each other. Once found out, violators will be forced to withdraw from the competition. The most important point is that you can only enter the inner regions. You can't even enter the core regions. Violators will have to bear the consequences. These are the rules you need to pay attention to. I won't talk about the other rules that don't mean much. Do you have any questions? Cheng Yu and Cheng Jiangjiang both answered. No. No. Ji Yu shook his head silently. Other than not being allowed to kill, he could ignore the other rules. Then continue, let's talk about the tactics. Zhuang Weiran said, it's actually very simple. Yu Jiangjiang, you guys will activate the array at the back. Me, him and his companions will fight the beasts at the front. If we meet a large group of beasts, you guys set up the array in advance. Then we'll attract the group of beasts. These are all very simple. It's just a precaution. I told you in advance. Of course, Zhuang Weiran was just going through the motions. She knew that as long as Ji Yu was willing to take the initiative, they wouldn't have to do anything to win. Zhuang Weiran suddenly thought of something. Oh right, there's a reward at the end. I almost forgot to mention it. Our goal is to get first place. Just the reward for getting first place is enough. The team that gets first place can enter the palace's treasure vault and choose any treasure. Everyone can get a 15-day top-notch cultivation room token. After hearing this, Ji Yu personally felt that this reward was not bad. Compared to the 15-day top-notch cultivation room token, he was more interested in the palace's treasure vault. As one of the most powerful forces in the Kanglan Empire, the treasures in the palace's treasure vault would definitely be the best. Any one of them would definitely be useful to him. When the time comes, he would have to choose properly. Our goal is to get first place. It's not that I don't have confidence, but our teammates have to be okay. At this moment, Cheng Jiangjiang spoke. Although she didn't mention Ji Yu directly, it was obvious that she was hinting at Ji Yu. Little sister, are you talking about me? Ji Yu asked calmly. Shanji, don't be angry. Zhuang Weiran almost shouted out Ji Yu's name, but luckily she reacted in time. After that, she said to Cheng Jiangjiang, Jiangjiang, you too. Don't talk nonsense over there. How am I speaking nonsense? Cheng Jiangjiang grumbled to himself. Since Zhuang Weiran had already said so much, she couldn't say anything else. After all, Zhuang Weiran was the owner of this place. I'm not angry. I just want her to understand something. Ji Yu said calmly. Suddenly, an aura of cultivation burst out from his body. Cheng Yeye and Cheng Jiangjiang are both stunned. This aura was clearly much stronger than theirs. This meant that the cultivation of this white-robed man was at least at the 9th level of the defensive profound realm. Humph! What's so great about this level of cultivation? After regaining her senses, Cheng Jiangjiang still couldn't hold back her pride and said unhappily. But in her heart, she didn't dare to underestimate this white-robed man anymore. Zhuang Weiran quickly understood Ji Yu's intention and just smiled. Since he had achieved his goal, Ji Yu retracted his aura of cultivation. He just wanted to scare this arrogant woman a little, so he only revealed his cultivation of 9th level of the defensive profound realm and didn't reveal his full cultivation. This way, this arrogant woman wouldn't bother him for no reason. Alright, I've said what I need to say. So, do you plan to go back or stay here until the day of the beast hunting ceremony? Zhuang Weiran gave Ji Yu a mysterious smile. What the hell? This woman dares to seduce me? But Jiyu felt that it was better to forget it. After the incident with Qi Ling he didn't want to flirt with others. No need, I want to stay in the cultivation room for the next few days. Jiyu very calmly rejected Zhuang Weiran. Alright. Seeing that Jiyu didn't fall for it, Zhuang Weiran instantly felt that it was meaningless. When Jiyu was about to leave, she reminded her again. Then you have to remember the time. At the latest, you have to come out after 10 days. Jiyu waved his hand, indicating that he understood. After that, Jiyu returned to the Xian Meridian Array. He used all the gold coins he had left to exchange for days in the top cultivation room, a total of 7 days in the top cultivation room. He added the 7 days of time into the number 6 training room token that Zhuang Weiran had given him previously. In total, it was 17 days. Jiyu estimated that he would stay in the top cultivation room for 10 days before going out to prepare for the beast hunting ceremony. Chapter 291. After putting down the token, Jiyu entered cultivation room number 6. He was not in a hurry to start cultivating qi. Instead, he took out the manual intermediate qi concealment technique that he had obtained previously. He would need it at the beast hunting ceremony, so he had to cultivate it in advance. Ding! Master has taken a look at the profound class superior qi concealment technique. 999 times comprehension ability. Ding! Congratulations, Master. You have successfully comprehended the profound class superior qi concealment technique. He mastered it in an instant. Jiyu tried to use the qi concealment technique to see how much of his cultivation he could hide. Ding! Master used intermediate air concealment. Intermediate air concealment experience gained. 400 by 999 times. After he was done, Jiyu discovered that his cultivation base had been successfully concealed from level 5 Tongxian stage to level 4 Tongxian stage. Jiyu continued to improve the intermediate qi concealment technique. Ding! Master has taken a look at the intermediate qi concealment technique. Experience gained. 1 by 999 times. Ding! Master has taken a look at the intermediate qi concealment technique. Experience gained. 1 by 999 times. Ding! Congratulations, Master. The profound class superior qi concealment technique has successfully broken through to initial mastery. At this stage, Jiyu could conceal his cultivation base to the early stage of LV3 Tongxian realm. That was all for now. It would take too much time to improve the intermediate qi concealment technique to perfection. He did not have that much time to waste on it. He would make good use of the 10 days in the top cultivation room and improve the intermediate qi concealment technique later. Ding! Master has cultivated Xian Qi for 1 minute. Martial arts cultivation experience gained. 100 by 999 times. Ding! Master has cultivated Xian Qi for 1 minute. Martial arts cultivation experience gained. 100 by 999 times. In the top cultivation room, no one could disturb Jiyu. Therefore, he made good use of the 10 days. On the second day, he successfully broke through to peak LV5. On the 5th day, he successfully broke through to peak LV5. On the 10th day, Zhang Xian's cultivation had reached its saturation point. He was infinitely close to Tongxian realm LV6. Currently, Jiyu was half a step into the 6th level of the Tongxian realm. In order to break through to the 6th level of the Tongxian stage in the remaining time, he took out a pill from his storage ring. This was a barrier-breaking pill, but it wasn't the one he had refined previously. This barrier-breaking pill was bought by Jiyu with gold coins. Since she had enough gold coins, there was no need for her to spend time refining it herself. Of course, he didn't have many gold coins left, so he couldn't be so extravagant in the future. Ding! Master has consumed the barrier-breaking pill. Martial arts cultivation EXP gained. 200,000 999x. Ding. Congratulations, Master, your cultivation base has successfully broken through to the early stage of the 6th level of the Tongxian realm. Ding. Congratulations, Master, your cultivation base has successfully broken through to the middle stage of the 6th level of the Tongxian realm. A level 5 middle-grade barrier-breaking pill was extremely effective in helping Jiyu break through to intermediate LV6 Tongxian realm. However, this pill couldn't be used all the time. Firstly, it could cause the realm to be unstable. Secondly, it was too expensive. No matter if she bought it directly or collected the materials to refine it herself, the amount of gold coins required was extremely high. After all, this level 5 middle-grade barrier-breaking pill was equivalent to the rarest and most precious pill in the Kanglan Empire. When the 10 days were up, Jiyu left cultivation room number 6 and put away the token. He was going to return to the Qianyuan martial mansion and bring Qi Ling to find Zhuang Weiran. Ding. Master has used the Thunder Luster transformation. Thunder Luster transformation EXP gained 1000 999x. Ding. Master has used the Thunder Luster transformation. Thunder Luster transformation EXP gained 1000 999x. This time Jiyu was smarter. He used his movement technique to return to the Qianyuan martial mansion and went directly to Qi Ling courtyard. Usually, no one would stay in Qi Ling courtyard. Previously, because Jiyu was too eye-catching, he attracted a lot of female students. That was why the series of events happened. Therefore, when Jiyu appeared in Qi Ling courtyard, no one noticed. Jiyu knocked on the door lightly. "Who is it?" Qi Ling voice sounded from inside. "It's me," Jiyu replied. Qi Ling heart skipped a beat. Why did this bastard come here directly? However, in the next moment, she realized that there was no one outside. Other than Jiyu, she didn't hear anyone else's voice. "Is there no one else outside?" Qi Ling asked tentatively. "No," Jiyu replied. "All right then. I'll open the door for you now." Qi Ling heaved a sigh of relief. After what happened last time, she was in a bad mood. However, she couldn't tell what kind of bad mood she was in. There were all kinds of rumors about her relationship with Jiyu in the Qianyuan martial house recently, and it was very serious. However, for some reason, she felt a trace of joy in her heart. Chapter 292. As soon as Qi Ling opened the door, she saw Jiyu standing outside in a white robe. Just as she was wondering why Jiyu suddenly changed into this outfit, she saw Jiyu walking directly into the house. "Why are you here? Don't barge in without saying anything." Qi Ling could not help but panic. "I'm not going to do anything. Why are you panicking?" Jiyu said, "The beast hunting ceremony will begin in a few days. There are 3 people in our team. You have to meet them first, right?" Qi Ling wanted to say something but stopped. All right. Even so, she was still a little worried. This was the first time a member of the opposite sex entered her house. Seeing that Qi Ling did not throw a tantrum as usual, Jiyu was a little surprised. Without saying anything, he took Qi Ling and left directly. He grabbed Qi Ling wrist and left the Qianyuan martial mansion in a flash. Ding! Master has performed the Lightning Luster transformation. Lightning Luster transformation gained experience points. 1000 by 999 times. Ding! Master has performed the Lightning Luster transformation. Lightning Luster transformation gained experience points. 1000 by 999 times. Ding! Congratulations, Master. The inferior Earth rank Lightning Luster transformation has successfully broken through to the impeccable realm. At this moment, Qi Ling gently gritted her teeth. With Jiyu grabbing her wrist in such a hurry, it was as if they were eloping. When they arrived at the palace, Jiyu stopped. This was because he could not act recklessly in the palace. If he directly used his movement technique to barge into the palace, he would definitely be punished for the crime of being an enemy. After showing the token that Zhuang Weiran gave him, he and Qi Ling successfully entered the palace. Remember, don't say my name later. Just call me what you usually call me. Before going to meet Zhuang Weiran, Ji Yu reminded Qi Ling he did not want the twin sisters to know his true identity. After all, he was not familiar with them at all. He had to be wary of others. Usually? Qi Ling was stunned for a moment. Don't you usually like to call me a bastard or a hooligan? Ji Yu said calmly. Qi Ling immediately understood what Ji Yu meant. She muttered, "You are a hooligan to begin with." After saying this, she recalled what had happened in the maple forest a few days ago, and her face couldn't help but blush. Not long after, the 5 people in the same group met for the first time. "This is Miss Qi Ling from the Qianyuan Martial House. Is she your partner, young master?" After a short silence, Zhuang Weiran spoke first. "That's right." Ji Yu nodded. Qi Ling was stunned for a moment. Then, she leaned closer to Ji Yu and whispered, "Hey, is he the 6th prince?" "Well, you can call her the 6th prince, or you can call her the 6th princess, or you can even call her a transvestite," Ji Yu said in a very normal tone. "Human transvestite?" Qi Ling was taken aback. "Don't listen to his nonsense. My name is Zhuang Weiran. Don't be fooled by my appearance. I'm actually a girl." Zhuang Weiran rolled her eyes at Ji Yu. Qi Ling nodded. In fact, she had been wondering if this person in front of her was a girl in disguise, because her appearance was too beautiful. After Ji Yu showed a part of her cultivation last time, Ching Jiangjiang didn't say anything this time. "Well, now that everyone is here," Zhuang Weiran said to Ji Yu and Qi Ling "stay here tonight. Then, you will leave early tomorrow morning and go to the entrance of the Monster Mountain Range to register." Zhuang Weiran had already prepared a dormitory for Ji Yu and Qi Ling. Ji Yu and Qi Ling went to their own dormitories. Taking advantage of the free time, Ji Yu continued to improve the intermediate Qi concealment technique. Ding. Master has taken a look at the intermediate Qi concealment technique. Experience gained. 1 by 999 times. Ding. Master has taken a look at the intermediate Qi concealment technique. Experience gained. 1 by 999 times. Ding. Congratulations, Master. You've successfully broken through to the mastery stage of the Mystic Rank Superior Secret Technique, Intermediate Air Concealment Technique. Before going to bed, Ji Yu improved the intermediate Qi concealment technique to the mastery level. Early the next morning, after eating the breakfast sent by the palace servant, Ji Yu met up with the other 4 people beside the lotus pond and prepared to take the spirit ship. The 5 of them agreed that they shouldn't attract too much attention. Therefore, they casually invited an ordinary carriage and asked a loyal servant in the palace to be the coachman. In fact, there were royal mounts in the palace. They were all tamed second-grade monsters. Those demonic beasts were many times faster than ordinary horses. However, it was too eye-catching. With Ji Yu's current situation, doing such a meaningless act would only bring him trouble. Chapter 293. Recently, Zhuang Weiran had been in a good mood. The monster hunting ceremony was coming up, and she knew that she would definitely win the first place. With Ji Yu's absolute strength that stood in the second echelon of the entire Azure Water Empire, there was simply no one who was Ji Yu's opponent in the beast hunting ceremony. Regardless of whether it was in terms of fighting each other or in terms of hunting demonic beasts, Zhuang Weiran, who was in a good mood, had a lot of fun chatting. She didn't have to talk to Ji Yu. She could talk to Qing Yeye, Qing Jiangjiang, or Qi Ling. Yeye Jiangjiang, is there any fun place in the Pajuan Empire? Zhuang Weiran asked. Oh no, it's starting again. Hearing this, Tring Jiangjiang knew that Zhuang Weiran was going to start again. Yeah, you should talk to her. She immediately threw this task to her sister. Oh. Cheng Ye, who was gentle, didn't care and started chatting with Zhuang Weiran patiently. At this time, Ji Yu was quietly improving her intermediate hiding aura technique, and wasn't interested in the topic at all. Ding. Master took a look at intermediate hiding aura technique. Intermediate hiding aura technique gained experience. 1 by 999 times. Ding. Master took a look at intermediate hiding aura technique. Intermediate hiding aura technique gained experience. 1 by 999 times. She flipped through the contents of the intermediate hiding aura technique in her mind. The effect was fast and simple. After some time, Zhuang Weiran finally finished chatting with Qing Ye. But before the carriage reached the shore, she found Qi Ling and started chatting with her again. Zhuang Weiran was about to open her mouth, but she noticed that Qi Ling was doing something. Although Qi Ling hid it well, she could still see through it. Qi Ling stole glances at Ji Yu from time to time. All this fell into Zhuang Weiran's eyes. Looking at Qi Ling Zhuang Weiran smiled slightly. Miss Ling can I call you that? Zhuang Weiran asked with a smile. Qi Ling immediately replied, Sixth Princess, what's the matter? It was indeed well concealed, but it was a pity that Zhuang Weiran had long discovered it. I heard that young master confessed to you and you accepted him. Is that true? Zhuang Weiran asked mysteriously. As a member of the royal family, there were very few things in the royal city that she did not know. Not to mention the news that had spread like wildfire in the Qianyuan martial house a few days ago. Ah, you misunderstood me. Qi Ling quickly explained. That fellow only wanted to invite me to participate in the beast hunting ceremony, so I agreed. That's what happened. That's all? Zhuang Weiran pretended to be skeptical as he asked. That's all. Qi Ling nodded affirmatively. Come sit over here. Zhuang Weiran waved at Qi Ling. Although Qi Ling didn't understand what Zhuang Weiran wanted to do, she still followed her instructions and sat down. Hey, let me ask you something. Zhuang Weiran whispered into Qi Ling's ear. When Zhuang Weiran spoke, her breath tickled Qi Ling's ears. She couldn't help but shrink her neck slightly. What is it? Do you like Ji Yu or not? Zhuang Weiran asked softly. Qi Ling was already a little sensitive due to Zhuang Weiran's breath. When she heard what Zhuang Weiran said, she was shocked. What did you say? Qi Ling couldn't help but speak loudly. She even stuttered a little. Sure, Zhuang Weiran whispered, I'm just curious. You can just tell me secretly. I won't tell anyone. You really won't tell anyone? Qi Ling hesitated for a moment before she asked softly. There was a chance. When Zhuang Weiran heard Qi Ling's reply, she felt that there was a high chance that she could get Qi Ling to tell her the truth. Of course. I'm a member of the royal family. My words carry weight. You can rest assured. Zhuang Weiran promised. All right then, Qi Ling finally spilled the beans in her heart. Actually, I don't know how to explain it. I obviously hate that fellow, but gradually, I have a strange feeling. She didn't think much of it before. However, ever since Ji Yu's joke, she didn't understand what was going on. She had kept it in her heart for too long. Moreover, the sixth princess was also a woman. She felt that the sixth princess might know what was going on. There's no doubt that you've fallen for him. Zhuang Weiran patted her chest and said. It can't be, right? Qi Ling sounded surprised and confused. Although she had already guessed it, she didn't want to believe that she would fall for that hateful fellow. However, the sixth princess said it so confidently that she didn't know what to do. Yes. Believe me, you've definitely fallen for him. Zhuang Weiran's tone became even more certain. Qi Ling couldn't help but fall into a daze when she heard that. Zhuang Weiran and Qi Ling had been speaking very softly. Ji was focused on improving the intermediate level qi concealment technique. Therefore, he didn't hear what they were saying at all. However, he heard Zhuang Weiran and Qi Ling whispering to each other. He opened his eyes and asked curiously, "What are you talking about?" "Ah, we're talking about." Zhuang Weiran seemed to have forgotten her promise to Qi Ling. She smiled and said. However, before she could finish her sentence, Qi Ling covered her mouth with her hand. Chapter 294. She didn't say anything. Qi Ling hurriedly covered Zhuang Weiran's mouth and explained in a panic. "Then you can continue." Although it looked suspicious, Ji didn't care so much. He only noticed that Zhuang Weiran and Qi Ling seemed to have a good relationship. It could only be said that Zhuang Weiran was really familiar with her. Ji didn't care about them anymore and continued with his own business. Then Qi Ling let go of her hand that was covering Zhuang Weiran's mouth. Qi Ling's face was red and she rebuked. "Didn't you say that you would never tell anyone?" No, you misunderstood me. I just wanted to use other things to brush you off." Zhuang Weiran explained awkwardly. "Who knew that you wouldn't let me finish? I really didn't mean that." However, in fact, if Qi Ling hadn't stopped her in time, she would have told Ji that Qi Ling was attracted to. In that case, things would develop in a direction that she found interesting. So that's the case. Qi Ling didn't think too much and believed Zhuang Weiran's words. She believed it so easily. Zhuang Weiran couldn't help but feel that this girl was too naive and cute. It made her want to bully Qi Ling more. "Come on, let's continue the topic just now." At this time, Zhuang Weiran was like a big bad wolf, and Qi Ling was like a weak little lamb. Zhuang Weiran even planned to impart some strange knowledge to this little lamb. The carriage arrived at the station. Before getting off the carriage, Ji looked at Zhuang Weiran and Qi Ling in confusion. Why was Zhuang Weiran smiling so strangely? Why was Qi Ling blushing and about to cry? "What happened between you two?" Ji asked in confusion. "This is a private matter between us women. You don't need to know," Zhuang Weiran said. Qi Ling was so shy that she couldn't say a word. Since Zhuang Weiran didn't want to say, Ji didn't care. After getting off the carriage, they went directly to the spirit ship. After buying the first-class tickets, Ji and the others boarded the spirit ship. At this time, Ji had already entered her own high-class room. Ding. "Master, take a look at intermediate air concealment. Intermediate air concealment experience gained. 1 by 999 times. Ding. Master, take a look at intermediate air concealment. Intermediate air concealment experience gained. 1 by 999 times. Ding. Congratulations, Master, for successfully breaking through to the immaculate refinement stage of the profound rank high-grade profound skill intermediate air concealment technique. Ding. Congratulations, Master, for successfully breaking through to the peak of perfection realm with the profound rank upper grade profound skill intermediate air concealment technique. Just before the spirit ship arrived at its destination, Ji finally managed to upgrade her intermediate aura concealment technique to the Great Circle realm. He then cast the intermediate air concealment spell to see how effective it was. A second later, the effect appeared. Ji's cultivation base had been concealed from the middle of LV6 Tongxian realm to the peak of LV9 defensive mystic realm. This was the maximum concealment effect of the intermediate concealment technique. But this was enough. As long as his cultivation wasn't above Tongxian realm, no one would be able to recognize him. As for the other side, Zhuang Weiran and the others were very free. Especially Zhuang Weiran, she seemed to be addicted to bullying Qi Ling. Qi Ling was already more and more concerned about Ji because of Zhuang Weiran's words. Now, every time she was teased by Zhuang Weiran, she would be very shy. Qing Ye and Qing Jiangjiang didn't care, as long as they weren't the ones being teased by Zhuang Weiran. Sister Ling, I think that if you have the courage, you'd better tell Ji the truth as soon as possible. At this time, Zhuang Weiran came to Qi Ling's room again to brainwash her. No, no. Absolutely not. Qi Ling shook her head desperately and said, "That bastard will definitely take advantage of me. You can't think like that. You have to know that Ji is a fool in this aspect. If you don't take the initiative, he will probably never notice you." Zhuang Weiran continued to brainwash her, "But if you take the initiative, as the saying goes, it's easy for a woman to chase a man. Maybe you'll succeed in an instant." Is it really possible? Qi Ling didn't realize that she had been brainwashed into an idiot in love by Zhuang Weiran. Yes, you can. Trust me. You just have to be bold. Zhuang Weiran kept encouraging her. Okay, I'll try my best. Qi Ling made up her mind. Zhuang Weiran nodded with satisfaction. In fact, she didn't have any ulterior motive. She just thought it was very interesting. After countless brainwashing by Zhuang Weiran, Qi Ling gradually recognized her feelings for Ji. But the estrangement in her heart made it difficult for her to summon up the courage. Chapter 295. Ding. Master has cultivated celestial qi for 1 minute. Martial arts cultivation gained experience points. 20 by 999 times. Ding. Master has cultivated celestial qi for 1 minute. Martial arts cultivation gained experience points. 20 by 999 times. As it was a high-class room, the celestial qi was twice as dense as the outside world. Ji cultivated his celestial qi in the room after upgrading the intermediate qi concealment skill to perfection. Even though the spirit ship was about to reach the shore, he didn't relax. At this moment, Ji suddenly heard Zhuang Weiran's voice coming from outside the door. "Ling and I are here for you." Hearing this, Ji did not ask any further and went to open the door. Zhuang Weiran pushed Qi Ling in. "What are you guys doing?" Ji asked as she looked at them. "Nothing. We just want to bring Ling here to have some fun." Zhuang Weiran smiled. As she spoke, she controlled Qi Ling's shoulder and made her face Ji. However, Qi Ling didn't dare to look at Ji directly. She blushed. Ji noticed Qi Ling's strange behavior and asked, "What's wrong with you?" "Nothing." Qi Ling covered her face and said. Now, whenever she saw Ji, she would blush and her heart would beat faster. Regarding this, Ji found it very strange. What happened to Qi Ling today? Why did she suddenly become a different person? Don't be so shy. Come here. Zhuang Weiran pushed Qi Ling and gradually approached Ji. No. As she got closer to Ji, Qi Ling couldn't stand it anymore and ran out of the room. Why did she run away? Zhuang Weiran was regretful. "Zhuang Weiran, did you do something to her?" Ji asked. "No, I didn't do anything," Zhuang Weiran denied. "Forget it if you don't want to say." Ji didn't believe Zhuang Weiran at all. But don't go too far. He would never believe that Qi Ling's sudden change had nothing to do with Zhuang Weiran. I know. Zhuang Weiran's tone was perfunctory. However, this was equivalent to her self-destruction. After that, Zhuang Weiran ran off to look for Qi Ling. Since she knew that she had to show her face during the registration process, Ji put on a mask that could change her appearance in advance. After reaching the shore, Ji and the other 4 got off the spirit ship. Now that he had changed his appearance with the mask, the white robe on his head was pulled down. The beast hunting ceremony won't start until tomorrow afternoon. We still have plenty of time. Let's take a stroll around this ancient Radiance city first, Zhuang Weiran said. At this time, her makeup was still on. She was dressed in standard male attire with a hat on her head. In a place like this, no one would be able to recognize that she was a member of the royal family. Qi Ling, on the other hand, was walking at the back of the group. She seemed to be deliberately keeping a certain distance from Ji. I'll find a place to rest. You guys can do whatever you want, Ji said. If he had the time to wander around, he might as well use it to cultivate. Don't go. Zhuang Weiran hooked onto Ji's arm and pulled Ji back. It's just a casual stroll. It won't take much time. Alright, as long as you're happy. Ji was helpless. Seeing Ji and Zhuang Weiran being so intimate, Qi Ling felt a little uncomfortable. But she didn't say it out loud. Ding. Master has taken a step. Earth rank low-level mystic skill lightning ray transformation gained experience. 1 by 999 times. Ding. Master has taken a step. Earth rank low-level mystic skill lightning ray transformation gained experience. 1 by 999 times. Just like this, Ji was dragged around by Zhuang Weiran. Zhuang Weiran rarely left the royal palace, let alone the royal city. The last time she escaped from the royal city, she was caught by Ji before she could do anything. This time, she finally came to the ancient Radiant City. Naturally, she wanted to have fun. Now, Ji and the other 4 girls were in a shop. This was a shop that sold clothes, and it was the property of the Wan Bao Pavilion. Needless to say, it was related to the Wan Bao Pavilion. This shop wasn't small. It was 3 stories high, and there were all kinds of clothes displayed inside and outside. Zhuang Weiran didn't buy clothes for herself, but she was very interested in choosing clothes for Qi Ling Qing Ye and Qing Jiang. First was Qi Ling. She was forced to buy a set of clothes by Zhuang Weiran. This is? Qi Ling looked at the set of clothes in her hand in confusion. She didn't understand what Zhuang Weiran was doing. Come, let's try it on. Zhuang Weiran brought Qi Ling into a small room that provided clothes to try on. Now, only Ji, Qing Ye, and Qing Jiang were left standing there. Ji wasn't familiar with Qing Ye and Qing Jiang, so he didn't say anything. What's your name? The atmosphere was silent for a while before Qing Jiang took the initiative to ask. The beast hunting ceremony was about to begin, but she didn't know this person's name. It wouldn't matter if it was someone else, but this person was at the 9th level of the defensive profound realm. With this level of cultivation, no matter which empire he was in, he would be a rare genius. Therefore, Qing Jiang was quite curious about this person's name. Although she seemed to have heard Zhuang Weiran call this person Shanji, she wasn't sure if she heard it wrong. You don't need to know my name, Ji said lightly. What's with that bad temper? Qing Jiang said unhappily. I'm just asking for your name, and you're so petty. So, just a little better than you, Ji said casually. Chapter 296. Hearing the 2 of them bickering, Qing Ye could tell that her sister wasn't hated. She was relieved. However, she wanted to know his name. Well, young master, it's better to tell me your surname so that we can call each other, Qing Ye said cautiously. Then you can just call me young master, Ji replied immediately. He did not want to say the surname Ji casually. However, he did not like to change his surname, so he could only answer in this way. Okay. Qing Ye did not continue to ask. Qing Jiang was unhappy and started to argue with Ji again. Ji felt that it was too boring and simply ignored Qing Jiang after a few words. At this moment, Zhuang Weiran brought Qi Ling out of the room. Qi Ling was wearing a light pink dress with white lace embroidered on the sleeves. There were 2 layers of creamy white chiffon collars in front of her neck. She looked delicate and exquisite with only a light chiffon covering her shoulders. Her fair shoulders were faintly discernible. Coupled with the blush on Qi Ling face, she looked extremely alluring. How is it? This was because Zhuang Weiran had pushed Qi Ling out. Otherwise, Qi Ling would be too embarrassed to come out. Although Qi Ling was shy, she could not help but look forward to it. However, Ji's next sentence shocked them. What do you mean? Zhuang Weiran was speechless for a while before she said, I really did not expect you to be so dense. So, are you talking about the clothes? Jiyu roughly understood what Zhuang Weiran meant. He looked at Qi Ling Er's clothes and said, "Not bad, right?" Zhuang Weiran waited for a while, but Jiyu did not say anything else. "Don't you have anything else to say?" She did not know what to say to this guy anymore. This idiot, shouldn't he at least praise him more? Even so, Qi Ling Er's heart was filled with joy when she heard those words. Then, Zhuang Weiran picked out clothes for Qing Ye and Qing Jiangjiang. During this time, Jiyu and Qi Ling stood together. The atmosphere was a little awkward. To be honest, he wasn't used to Qi Ling acting like this. In the past, to put it nicely, he had a strong personality. To put it bluntly, he had a very bad temper. But at least she was lively. What had he become now? She immediately turned into a delicate little girl who would get shy at the slightest thing. The contrast between the two was so huge that Jiyu was not used to it. Qi Ling. Hearing Jiyu's sudden words, Qi Ling was slightly taken aback. What's wrong? Qi Ling said in a panic. What happened to you these past few days? Can you tell me? Jiyu couldn't help but ask. I can't say it. Qi Ling jabbed her little fingers together, feeling extremely shy. Seeing Qi Ling like this, Jiyu found it hard to look at her. However, this was not bad. In a sense, she was much cuter than before. Since Qi Ling didn't want to say it, he didn't intend to continue asking. After Qing Ye and Qing Jiangjiang came out, Zhuang Weiran didn't let Jiyu comment. Because she knew that Jiyu wouldn't say anything nice. Zhuang Weiran helped Qing Ye, Qing Jiangjiang, and Qi Ling pay for the clothes and then left the shop. By the way, don't you choose your own clothes? As soon as they walked out of the shop, Jiyu suddenly asked. He noticed that Zhuang Weiran was very active in helping others choose clothes, but she didn't choose clothes for herself. So he was a little curious. Hearing this, Zhuang Weiran was surprised. She seemed to be surprised that Jiyu, a fool, would ask such a question. No, I'm a member of the royal family. My identity is special. After being surprised, Zhuang Weiran explained, and I have to dress up as a man. Even if I choose clothes, I don't need them. I see. Jiyu replied very calmly without any other emotions. However, he noticed that Zhuang Weiran's eyes seemed to flash with a trace of sadness. He had never seen Zhuang Weiran reveal such emotions. Even if it was only for a moment, he couldn't help but be a little concerned. Zhuang Weiran seemed to want to continue to play in other places. However, Jiyu wasn't willing to. Under Jiyu's objection, Zhuang Weiran finally followed him to find a temporary place to stay. In the ancient Yaoguang city, the most luxurious place was naturally the Qinfeng restaurant. Under Jiyu's lead, they all came to the Qinfeng restaurant to rent a place. However, Ling Ruming wasn't here, so Jiyu couldn't be a freeloader like last time. Moreover, even if Ling Ruming was here, he wouldn't look for her. Not only did he have to be more careful with this kind of woman, but he also couldn't owe too many favors. Of course, he would repay the favors that he owed in the past. Chapter 297. After spending a lot of gold coins, Jiyu managed to book 5 high-class rooms in the Qinfeng restaurant. After all, it was the most high-class restaurant in the ancient city of Radiance. Even if it was just for one night, the cost was not low. However, these gold coins were nothing to Jiyu. In the Qinfeng restaurant, Jiyu realized that there were many young geniuses, many of whom he had seen before. It was probably because the beast hunting ceremony was going to start tomorrow, so like Jiyu and the rest, they had come to the Qinfeng restaurant to stay for a day. However, not everyone who was going to participate in the beast hunting ceremony would come to the ancient city of Radiance, and not everyone came to the ancient city of Radiance for the beast hunting ceremony. There were many entrances and exits to the Beast Mountain Range. There were several ancient cities surrounding the Beast Mountain Range. The ancient city of Radiance was just one of the temporary resting places. Among so many young geniuses, there were not many who were qualified to participate in the beast hunting ceremony. After all, the threshold of defensive profound realm level 5 was quite high. Most of them were just here to join in the fun. Besides that, Jiyu also got a piece of news. As there were many young geniuses gathered here today, the boss of the Qingfeng restaurant specially held a banquet to welcome them. Jiyu was too lazy to attend such a banquet, but Zhuang Weiran insisted on joining in the fun. He was a little worried, so he had no choice but to follow along. Jiyu had attended such a banquet before, and it happened to be at the Qingfeng restaurant too. It was boring the last time, and this time it would be the same. Let's go and find a seat, Zhuang Weiran said excitedly when they arrived at the large hall where the banquet was held. Jiyu did not say anything and found a seat. A group of young men and women were toasting each other, and the atmosphere was lively. Only Jiyu's table was the most unusual. Needless to say, Jiyu did not like such occasions at all. Zhuang Weiran unexpectedly sat in her seat, as if she was purely here to enjoy the lively atmosphere. As for Qing Ye and Qing Jiangjiang, they were from the Pajuan Empire, not the Kanglan Empire. There was no need for them to know those people. As for Qi Ling she was not in the mood at all. At first, there were still people who took the initiative to strike up a conversation with Qing Ye, Qing Jiangjiang, and Qi Ling. Qing Ye let nature take its course. Qing Jiangjiang didn't give a good face directly and drove those people away. Towards the end, no one dared to strike up a conversation with her. Qi Ling was the only one who was at a loss. Not only did she care more and more about Jiyu, but she also cared more and more about Jiyu's feelings. If he was still the same as before, Jiyu would probably hate him. She didn't want that. That was why he didn't know how to deal with others. If not for Qing Jiangjiang, she would not know what to do. Jiyu noticed that the changes in Qi Ling were getting bigger and bigger. He felt that if there was a chance in the future, he should ask Qi Ling about it. Until the end of the banquet, Jiyu and the others remained seated. Other than drinking wine and tasting delicacies, he had never taken the initiative to interact with others. It just so happened that they had settled the question of dinner. After the banquet ended, Jiyu and the other four returned to their respective rooms. It was only night now, but Jiyu had already begun to cultivate her Xian Qi. Ding! Master cultivated her profound Qi for 1 minute. Martial arts cultivation gained experience. 10 by 999 times. Ding! Master cultivated her profound Qi for 1 minute. Martial arts cultivation gained experience. 10 by 999 times. Late at night, Jiyu could feel that his cultivation was not far from the late stage of LV6 Tongxian realm. Late at night, he fell asleep. The next morning, he woke up and finished his breakfast. Then, Jiyu and the other four immediately got on the carriage and headed towards the Monster Beast mountain range. Although the monster hunting ceremony would only start in the afternoon, they had to register in advance. After 2 to 3 hours, the carriage arrived at one of the entrances of the Monster Beast mountain range. There were many young geniuses at the entrance. There was even an expert of the Tongxian realm. He should be the person in charge of registration. I'll report your identities later. Then, you can check your bone age and cultivation. That's all. When they were about to get off the carriage, Zhuang Weiran reminded them. Normally, the team leader would report everyone's identities. Zhuang Weiran was the leader of the team. To be on the safe side, don't report my name as Shanji later. Just change it to something else. At this moment, Jiyu communicated with Zhuang Weiran mentally. He had used the name Shanji a long time ago in the Chaoyang Ancient City's recruitment exam. It would be risky to use it again. At least before the monster hunting ceremony ended, he did not want anyone to find out his identity, especially the evolving temple. This monster hunting ceremony was a good opportunity for Jiyu to improve his strength. When he could fight against a LV9 Tongxian realm expert, He would not need to fear the evolving temple anymore. Chapter 298. Hearing Ji Yu's words, Zhuang Weiran nodded silently. After getting off the carriage, Ji Yu and the other three waited at the side. Zhuang Weiran went alone to report the team's information to the prosecutor and register. Zhuang Weiran, Qi Ling Qingye, and Qing Jiangjiang all used their real names to register. Only Ji Yu, Zhuang Weiran gave her the name Yu Mu, and as for her identity, she just casually filled in as a palace guard. The name Yu Mu was obviously not given casually by Zhuang Weiran, it was intentional. Yu Mu was implying that Ji Yu was a blockhead. However, Ji Yu had no reaction. It was unknown whether he didn't realize that there was something wrong with the name, or he didn't care at all. After the registration, they immediately started the test. Ji Yu used the intermediate energy concealment technique to hide her cultivation level to defensive profound realm level 9. After deliberately suppressing her aura, the result was that she was at defensive profound realm level 7. Even so, it caused the prosecutor to be shocked. Yu Mu, 16 years old, defensive profound realm level 7? To be able to reach this level at 16 years old, he could be considered one of the top geniuses in the Kanglan Empire. However, he had never heard of the name Yu Mu. What made him even more concerned was that this genius identity was actually a palace guard. This was too ridiculous. However, the one who reported his identity was the sixth prince, so the prosecutor didn't dare to say anything. Did I hear wrongly? He's only 16 years old, and he's already at defensive profound realm level 7? There are so many geniuses who suddenly rose up recently. Not long ago, there was Ji Yu, and now there's Yu Mu. He's always been an unknown existence. Don't compare Ji Yu. He's a super genius who stands at the second tier of the Kanglan Empire. This Yu Mu can't compare at all. One could hear the surrounding people exclaiming. Unfortunately, they didn't know that Ji Yu was Yu Mu, and Yu Mu was Ji Yu. Even Qing Ye and Qing Jiangjiang were surprised. Qing Jiangjiang, in particular, blurted out, "You're only 16?" She knew that this guy's true cultivation level was definitely above the 9th level of the defensive profound realm. He was just deliberately concealing his cultivation level. That was why she was even more surprised that he was able to reach the 9th level of the defensive profound realm at the age of 16. In comparison, the martial arts talent that she had always been proud of was nothing. However, Qing Jiangjiang did not feel dejected because of this. This was because she also had the identity of a genius array master. In this aspect, she felt that this guy definitely couldn't compare to her. Only Zhuang Weiran and Qi Ling, who knew Ji Yu, wouldn't make such a big fuss. Following that, Zhuang Weiran and the rest were also tested. Zhuang Weiran, 18 years old, 7th level of the defensive profound realm. Qing Ye, 16 years old, 7th level of the defensive profound realm. Qing Jiangjiang, 16 years old, 7th level of the defensive profound realm. Qi Ling 17 years old, LV7 defensive profound realm. Coincidentally, all 5 of them were at the 7th level of the defensive profound realm. The surroundings suddenly fell into a temporary suffocating silence. Although this team could not be considered a top team because there were martial cultivators at the age of 22 who could also participate, it could be considered a top team of geniuses. The 5 of them were all under the age of 18, which was the most important point. Some of the experts who were gambling in the dark had already started to secretly discuss and bet on this team. I think this team can enter the top 5 in this beast hunting ceremony. I don't think it's safe to enter the top 5. After all, they are all so young and definitely don't have much actual combat experience. Entering the top 10 is more stable. It's a pity that they are still too young. I heard that the second prince and the fifth prince's teams are very strong as a whole. There are also a few other teams that are very strong. It would be good enough for them to enter the top 10. In the end, most of these people bet that this team could enter the top 10. A small number of them bet that they could enter the top 5, while a few of them bet that they could enter the top 3. As for the first and second place, not a single person bet on it. This was because they did not think that this team could enter the top 2 at all. They weren't stupid. They definitely wouldn't touch this kind of bet that guaranteed no profit. Chapter 299. After the inspection, Gu and the other 4 waited at the entrance of the Beast Mountain Range for the beast hunting ceremony to begin. It wasn't even noon yet, and the beast hunting ceremony wouldn't start until the afternoon. During this period of time, not only was it to allow the participants to register in time, but it was also to allow the people from the palace to check the outer and inner regions of the Beast Mountain Range. A few days ago, the palace had sent people to set up formations all over the Beast Mountain Range. It was a type of formation that could reflect everything within range to the formation master. After setting up enough formations in the Beast Mountain Range, they could capture everything in the outer and inner regions of the Beast Mountain Range to see if anyone broke the rules during the competition. However, as long as it was a formation, there would be a small chance of something going wrong. In order to ensure that the formation wouldn't go wrong during the competition, they had to send people to check it before the competition started. There's still some time before the beast hunting ceremony starts, so I'll tell you more about it. At this time, Zhuang Weiran said, "This time, our main enemies are 2 teams. One is my 5th brother Zhuang Kunji's team, and the other is my 2nd brother Zhuang Xiangxin's team." In reality, she just wanted to inform Cheng Ye and Qing Jiangjiang, just in case. With Ji Yu's absolute strength, it didn't matter if she heard this news or not. Qi Ling also knew Ji Yu's identity, so she didn't need to care about this. My 2nd and 5th brothers have been in close contact with the top geniuses of the Kanglan Empire Academy and the Qingxian sect. Both teams are very strong. Zhuang Weiran's tone gradually became serious. Also, it's said that they are secretly in cahoots with the Evolving Temple. Zhuang Weiran's last sentence made the originally relaxed Ji Yu widen his eyes. The Evolving Temple had already started to make their move. Ji Yu was sure that even if it wasn't for him, the Evolving Temple would definitely send people to participate in the Evolving Temple for other geniuses. Cheng Ye and Qing Jiangjiang had also heard of the Evolving Temple, but they didn't care too much about it. In their Pajuan Empire, the Evolving Temple was the holy land that all geniuses dreamed of. Every empire's Evolving Temple was different. Some were notorious while others were popular. The only thing they were worried about was whether the other party was too strong. Qi Ling was the only one who didn't react. She didn't know much about the Evolving Temple. At most, she only knew that there was such a force. It seems like I don't need to explain too much about the Evolving Temple. Zhuang Weiran looked at their reactions and said, "But don't worry too much about it. Just do what you need to do." She also knew that the Evolving Temple definitely had its eyes on Ji Yu, so she was not surprised by Ji Yu's obvious reaction. After all, there had never been a time when the number 1 genius of the 3-sect great competition had not been targeted by the Evolution Temple. The branch of the Evolving Temple in the ancient city of the Rising Sun was like a bandit that no one could control. Although it wouldn't go overboard, as long as it wanted to do something, no one could control it. At most, they would restrain it. This was the most apt description. However, Ji Yu soon regained her composure. So what if the Evolving Temple sent someone? The beast hunting ceremony had a mandatory rule that the participants had to be under the age of 22. Under this age, at least in the entire Kanglan Empire, there was no genius that could compare to him. If the people from the Evolving Temple pissed him off, he wouldn't mind teaching them a little bit of a lesson. After all, it was only a matter of time before he fell out with the Evolving Temple. It didn't matter if it happened sooner or later. Other than these two teams, there's nothing else we need to care about, Zhuang Weiran said. Then, why are the second prince and the fifth prince colluding with the evolving temple? At this moment, Ji Yu suddenly asked. He was a little concerned about this. I'm actually not very sure about this. Maybe they all want to be recognized by my father, Zhuang Weiran said with a face full of guesses. Ji Yu instantly understood what Zhuang Weiran meant. If they wanted to be recognized by the king of Kanglan, then it must be to inherit the throne. So, you have the same goal as them? Ji Yu asked again. I'm not the same. I'm not very interested in that. I just thought that the beast hunting ceremony would be interesting, so I came to participate. Zhuang Weiran smiled faintly. Ji Yu didn't continue to ask, nor did he doubt Zhuang Weiran's words. To him, with Zhuang Weiran's personality, it was normal for her to say such things. Chapter 300. Ding. Master has cultivated martial arts for 1 minute. Martial arts cultivation gained experience. 10 by 999 times. Ding. Master has cultivated martial arts for 1 minute. Martial arts cultivation gained experience. 10 by 999 times. Ji Yu passed this period of time by cultivating her celestial qi. When the time came, the monster hunting ceremony officially began. All the participants had signed up, and all the formations in the Monster Beast mountain range had been checked. Under the prosecutor's order, all the teams rushed into the Monster Beast mountain range at the same time. The time limit for the beast hunting ceremony was only 24 hours. Every minute and every second played a critical role. After rushing into the entrance, the participants scattered in all directions. When it came to hunting monsters, they definitely couldn't follow the main group. Only Ji Yu and the others were different. They went straight into the inner area. At the same time, a translucent screen appeared in midair at the entrance. The image on the screen seemed to be controlled by someone. It kept switching between different scenes in the Monster Beast mountain range. There were many spectators around, watching what was happening in the mountain range through the screen in midair. After 10 minutes, Ji Yu and the others entered the inner area. He didn't use the Thunder Luster transformation at the beginning. Instead, he used a very ordinary movement skill. He just needed to be with Zhuang Weiran and the others. As Cheng Ye and Cheng Jiangjiang moved forward, they prepared the formation in advance. Roar. Soon, a second-grade 5th-level monster beast noticed the commotion caused by Ji Yu and the others entering the inner area. Without saying anything, Cheng Jiangjiang threw a formation scroll, which was a formation diagram, at it. Ding. Master has taken a look at the superior second-grade formation, Spirit Snake formation, and triggered 999 times comprehension ability. Ding. Congratulations, Master, you have successfully comprehended the superior second-grade formation, Spirit Snake formation. Ji Yu glanced at the formation diagram that Cheng Jiangjiang threw out and understood it instantly. This was the Spirit Serpent Array, one of the most powerful second-grade arrays. Dealing with a second-grade 5th-grade demonic beast was a piece of cake. In less than a minute, the monster beast was killed by the formation. How is it? I'm awesome, right? Cheng Jiangjiang said proudly. Especially when she deliberately stole a few glances at Ji Yu. However, he found that Ji Yu's expression did not change at all. It's all right, Ji Yu said casually. In his opinion, Cheng Jiangjiang should be a superior second-rank or inferior third-rank array master. Although this level was nothing in front of him, in the eyes of the general public, he was still an extraordinary array formation genius. Although he had casually said, "It's all right," it was quite pertinent. Looking at Ji Yu's expression and hearing Ji Yu's tone, Cheng Jiangjiang felt that it was too perfunctory. Forget it. Since you don't know anything about formations, you naturally won't know how powerful I am, Cheng Jiangjiang said with dissatisfaction. Hearing this, Ji Yu smiled but did not say anything. Alright, that's enough. Let's move on. At this moment, Zhuang Weiran smiled. As a member of the royal family, she was a know-it-all. If she remembered correctly, Ji Yu had once activated a third-rank array in Chaoyang Ancient City and killed her enemy. However, Tring Jiangjiang did not know about this at all. He even thought that Ji Yu did not know anything about formations. Therefore, she directly interrupted this topic to prevent another awkward situation from happening. Qing Jiangjiang did not continue to say anything. Ji Yu, on the other hand, did not mind. Next, when they encountered monsters, Ji Yu, Zhuang Weiran, and Qi Ling fought in front, while Cheng Ye and Qing Jiangjiang activated the formation behind. Cheng Ye was good at all kinds of auxiliary formations, while Qing Jiangjiang was good at all kinds of offensive formations. In fact, Ji Yu was just casually helping, and the strength she displayed was only about 1% of her true strength. There were not many teams in the inner area of the Monster Beast mountain range. Most of the teams were still fighting to kill the lower-level monsters in the outer area. Therefore, Ji Yu and the others had a smooth journey and were very efficient at killing monsters. Chapter 301. Countless people were watching from all around the entrance of the Monster Beast mountain range. The images on the screen changed frequently, and most of them stayed in the inner area. Several times, the images stopped at Ji Yu and the others. This team is interesting. It's actually the 6th Prince and Qi Ling from the Qianyuan Martial House. Although I haven't seen the other 3 people, they look very powerful. Looking at this team's performance, I think they should be in the top 10 or even the top 5. At most, they should be in the top 5. This time, the 2nd Prince and the 5th Prince's teams are too strong. The performance of Ji Yu and the others in the inner area attracted the attention of many people outside. In their minds, this team could be called a dark horse, because before the monster hunting ceremony began, many teams had been announcing and hyping themselves up. Especially the 2nd Prince and the 5th Prince's teams, they were very high profile in the days before the monster hunting ceremony began. For example, the 1st and 2nd place of this monster hunting ceremony were already reserved by their 2 teams. Apart from that, all the other teams with a little strength were also arrogant and imposing. Only this team did not have any news at all. If they did not see it on the screen, they would not even know that the 6th Prince had formed a team. Although they were not very optimistic, they were looking forward to whether this dark horse team could make it to the top 5 in the end. At the same time, in the Monster Beast mountain range, Ji Yu and the others naturally did not know what was happening outside. They were still hunting beasts. After about an hour, they had already hunted more than a dozen 2nd-grade beasts. Their efficiency was very good. At this time, they were dealing with a 2nd-grade 8th-grade giant ape. This giant ape was huge and had amazing strength. It also had a certain level of intelligence. He was dragging a large tree that he had plucked out of nowhere as he charged ferociously towards Ji Yu and the other 4. Boom! Boom! The ground under their feet trembled slightly. Cheng Ye and Qing Jiangjiang's eyes immediately became serious. Zhuang Weiran's expression was better. She knew Ji Yu's true strength. But for some reason, Qi Ling seemed to be worried. Even when the giant ape was in front of her, she did not have much reaction. When it was about 10 meters away, the giant ape suddenly stopped. Using the inertia of its huge body, it threw the tree trunk in its hand out. The tree trunk was smashing towards Ji Yu and the others, and the visual impact was huge. If he was hit, the consequences would be unimaginable. Ji Yu, Zhuang Weiran, Qing Ye, and Qing Jiangjiang dodged in time, only to see Qi Ling standing there alone. "What are you doing?" Ji Yu shouted when she saw that Qi Ling still hadn't dodged. At this moment, Qi Ling suddenly came back to her senses. Only then did she notice that a huge tree was flying toward her. However, it was already too late for her to dodge. She subconsciously closed her eyes. Zhuang Weiran panicked as well. She didn't expect such a sudden turn of events. Ji clicked her tongue. Without thinking, she turned into a bolt of lightning and returned to Qi Ling. Ding. Master has used Lightning Luster Transformation. Lightning Luster Transformation gained experience. 1000*999x. He stretched out his hand and lightning wrapped around his hand. Then, he cut the tree in half. Hearing the sound of the tree trunk breaking, Qi Ling opened her eyes and realized that it was Ji Yu who had saved her. The slightly intelligent giant ape seemed to have realized the terrifying strength of this young man in front of it, turned around and ran away. Seeing this, Zhuang Weiran heaved a sigh of relief. Fortunately, Ji Yu was powerful enough. Otherwise, it was hard to imagine what would have happened to Qi Ling. At this moment, she heard Qing Jiangjiang murmuring in disbelief. Weiran, he is more than defensive mystic realm level 9, right? Zhuang Weiran didn't know how to explain. Let's talk about this later. Let's go and check on Ling first. After that, she immediately went to Qi Ling side. Ling are you okay? I'm fine. Qi Ling smiled bitterly. There was a trace of self-blame in her eyes. She had made the most basic mistake of being distracted during the competition. She had even caused more trouble for Ji Yu. Just as she was about to turn around and apologize to Ji Yu, she suddenly felt her hand being held by someone. Then, Ji Yu's deep voice sounded. Come with me for a while. It was obvious that Ji Yu was angry. Even though Qi Ling was shy, she restrained herself and didn't dare to struggle. Wait here for a while. I have something to tell her. Ji Yu, Zhuang Weiran, and Zhuang Weiran left with Qi Ling. He stopped when they came to a corner where the array couldn't see. During the whole process, Ji Yu didn't say a word. The more Ji Yu didn't speak, the more Qi Ling felt that Ji Yu was angry. Now, can you tell me what happened recently? Ji Yu looked straight into Qi Ling's eyes and asked seriously. Qi Ling almost died just now. This was no joke. This time, he had to ask clearly. Chapter 302. All the screens at the entrance of the Monster Beast mountain range showed the scene where Ji Yu scared off the giant ape. Anyone with a discerning eye could tell that the giant ape was at level 8 of 2nd grade. It was as difficult to deal with as a level 9 of 2nd grade monster beast. However, it was scared off by that young man. Where did that young man come from? Why haven't I seen him before? To be able to scare off a level 8 of 2nd grade monster beast, this young man's cultivation is at least at level 9 of the defensive profound realm. I guess he is a genius specially invited by the 6th prince. It seems that this dark horse team has a high chance of entering the top 5. For a moment, it caused quite a stir. At the same time, somewhere in the Monster Beast mountain range, Qi Ling who felt guilty, did not hide it anymore and told Ji Yu everything. After listening to her, Ji Yu sighed silently in his heart. Sure enough, it was Zhuang Weiran's doing. She had completely brainwashed Qi Ling. Ji Yu was so speechless that he did not know what to say. At this time, Qi Ling was very shy because she had just told Ji Yu her true feelings, which was equivalent to a confession. She was looking forward to it but was also afraid. She was looking forward to what Ji Yu would say next, but at the same time, she was afraid that Ji Yu would really respond to her confession. She was so contradictory in her heart. No matter what, she could not get rid of the barrier between her and men. However, Ji Yu was thinking about how to brainwash Qi Ling back to her original self. In his opinion, Qi Ling was about to be brainwashed into a fool by Zhuang Weiran. But no matter how he thought about it, he couldn't think of any useful ideas. Seeing Ji Yu looking down and not saying anything, Qi Ling could not help but ask in a low voice, Ji Yu, are you angry? I'm not angry, Ji Yu said. Since Qi Ling interrupted his thoughts, he could only temporarily give up on turning Qi Ling back to her original self. Okay. Qi Ling nodded, but she was still a little worried. Ji noticed this and asked directly, "What's on your mind? You can tell me everything, and I will find a way to help you solve it." Qi Ling hesitated for a while, wondering if she should say it out loud. "It's true. It's best if you don't keep it to yourself. You'll feel much better if you say it out loud." Ji persuaded. He felt that this could be a breakthrough point that could allow Qi Ling to return to normal. In the end, Qi Ling still decided to reveal the truth. "Actually, I encountered something a long time ago that made me subconsciously hate men. I want to get close to you, but at the same time, I'm afraid of getting close to you. Subconsciously, I don't know what to do." Ji was speechless. How would he know what to do? However, when he calmed down and thought about it, this kind of contradictory and strange mentality could be solved by looking at the root of the matter. "Is it convenient for you to tell me what happened?" Ji asked. Qi Ling hesitated for a long time, but in the end, she shook her head. "Okay." Since she was unwilling to say, Ji did not force her. "You don't have to think about those unnecessary things now. Focus on participating in the monster hunting ceremony." Qi Ling nodded silently. Although she was a little depressed, she did feel much more relaxed now that she had said so many things in her heart. A lot of time had passed, and Ji could not let Zhuang Weiran and the others wait for too long. Then, he took Qi Ling back to where they were. While walking, Ji thought to himself. So far, he knew two things. First, Qi Ling should have a good impression of him, but now, after being brainwashed by Zhuang Weiran, it turned into liking him. Second, Qi Ling had experienced something that caused her to have a psychological shadow of men. Although it was a little innocent, the reason why Qi Ling became like this was more or less related to him. He decided to help Qi Ling solve the knot in her heart if he could. If he could not, there was nothing he could do. Chapter 303. Zhuang Weiran was painstakingly explaining to Cheng Ye and Qing Jiangjiang what had just happened. Seeing that Ji and Qi Ling had finally returned, she felt as if she was relieved. "Let's not talk about this for now. Let's continue hunting demonic beasts. We can't waste too much time." Zhuang Weiran immediately stopped the topic and said to Ji, "Young master, what did you and Ling do just now?" Ji didn't say anything. Instead, she communicated telepathically with Zhuang Weiran. "I won't be calculative about what you did just now. Don't teach Qi Ling those weird things in the future." Even though Ji didn't say it out loud, Zhuang Weiran understood what Ji meant. She scratched her head and chuckled. Ji was helpless against Zhuang Weiran's act of acting dumb. Ji and the rest continued hunting demonic beasts. Cheng Ye didn't care too much. However, Qing Jiangjiang didn't believe what Zhuang Weiran said. She stared at Ji who was walking in front of her. She felt that this guy's true strength was definitely not as simple as 9th level defensive profound realm. She felt that Zhuang Weiran was fooling her. A second grade 8th level demonic beast, and an intelligent giant ape at that. To be able to scare the giant ape away, this guy's strength was definitely much stronger than the giant ape. If he was only at 9th level defensive profound realm, it wouldn't be enough to scare the giant ape to that extent. This meant that this guy's cultivation was probably above the Tongxian realm. At the age of 16, he was already at the Tongxian realm. When the two were together, it was needless to say how terrifying it was. Although this guy's name was Yumu when he reported his identity, she felt that this name might be fake. At the same time, she also felt that Zhuang Weiran was intentionally hiding this guy's identity. Would a 16-year-old Tongxian realm martial artist be willing to be a small guard in the palace? It was impossible even if she thought about it. The more she thought about it, the more curious Qing Jiangjiang became. What was this guy's real name? And the most important thing was, how high was his true cultivation? After that, Ji and the rest continued hunting demonic beasts as usual. Qi Ling Er's condition was much better than before. She wouldn't be distracted in battle. However, Ji Yu could feel that Qing Jiangjiang was looking at her from time to time. He didn't know what was going on, but it was very baffling. Right at this moment, Ji Yu suddenly noticed that there were two groups of people in front of them. In front of them was a field of rubble. The ground was filled with large and small stones. There were two groups of young men confronting each other. He did not recognize any of these people, but he could see their specific cultivation bases. Most of them were at the 6th level of the defensive profound realm, and there was a 7th level defensive profound realm warrior on each side. None of this mattered. What Ji Yu was most concerned about was that there was an injured wild beast lying between the two teams. Taking a closer look, his back was covered with sharp thorns, and his eyes were flashing with a vicious aura. This was a 2nd grade 9th layer bramble demon dog. However, this bramble demon dog seemed to have suffered a very serious injury, and its strength was greatly reduced. Obviously, the two teams found out that the bramble demon dog was injured and wanted to take advantage of it. Otherwise, the two teams would only be able to escape. How could they have the time to confront each other here? This demon beast was found by us first. Why should we give it to you? Since you don't want to give it to us, then let's compete to see who can kill that demon beast first. The two teams were competing when they suddenly noticed that there were people coming from not far away. They all tacitly did not make a move, and looked in that direction at the same time. They saw a man and 4 women walking towards them. Although the 4 women's beauty was very rare, now was not the time to think about these things. There were formations everywhere monitoring everything that happened here. Even if they had the heart, they did not have the gut. Please take a detour, one of the young leaders of the team said with an unfriendly expression. Detour? Ji Yu narrowed his eyes. Sorry, we want this demon beast. Hearing this, the young man's face suddenly sank. Do you want to deal with all 10 of us at the same time? Their 2 teams fighting for the bramble demon dog was enough, and they would not allow a third party to participate. Under such circumstances, they directly chose to cooperate and drive away this team that suddenly appeared first. Chapter 304. It's not impossible, Ji Yu said. Facing 10 people, there was no fear on his face. You. Seeing this, the young man felt that something was amiss. Brother Zhao, let's do it together. Are we still afraid of that kid? At this time, the other team said to the young man. Hearing this, the young man named Zhao Kuan thought about it. They had 10 people on their side, and they were all considered to be famous geniuses in the Kanglan Empire. There was no reason to be suspicious. Stop talking nonsense. If you want to go, then go together, Ji Yu said with a slightly impatient tone. Go. Being scared by a kid, how could Zhao Kuan bear it? With a cold shout, the 10 of them attacked at the same time. At the same time, Qing Yu and Qing Jiangjiang also used the array that they had prepared. In less than a few minutes, the 10 people were all defeated. They didn't expect that the other 5 people's cultivation was higher than theirs, and there were also 2 array masters. The situation was terrible. They directly gave up on the injured bramble demon dog and fled. In order to not violate the rules of the beast hunting ceremony, Ji Yu deliberately left these people alive. Otherwise, these people would have died long ago. At the same time, the scene on the outside screen changed. The people outside already knew the strength of this dark horse team, so they weren't too surprised. Then, Ji Yu slowly walked towards the bramble demon dog. Now, he should deal with this demon beast. In the next moment, a shocking scene happened. The bramble demon dog suddenly knelt down in front of Ji Yu. Ji Yu was stunned at first, then suddenly found that the bramble demon dog's abdomen bulged. What's wrong with it? Zhuang Weiran asked in surprise. Not only her, but the other 3 girls were also surprised. This is a female dog. If you look carefully, you will find that it is pregnant. Ji Yu said, I guess it is begging us to let it go. The four girls were silent. Facing this mother, who wanted to protect the child in her belly, they couldn't do anything. Jiyu, let it go or not, you decide. Zhuang Weiran sighed. Jiyu was just about to open her mouth when she saw the bramble demon dog slowly run to a certain spot and use its mouth to pick up a few leaves on the ground. Then, the demon dog lowered its head and laid on the ground, letting out a low whine. This is Pearl Spirit Grass? Jiyu immediately walked over. Pearl Spirit Grass, what is that? Zhuang Weiran asked curiously. This is a very rare spirit grass. I never thought that there would be such a precious item in the inner area. Jiyu picked up the pearl spirit grass in front of the bramble demon dog, slightly surprised. The pearl spirit grass was only as long as a finger, and there was a small oval-shaped fruit on the top, so it was named the pearl spirit grass. Oh! Zhuang Weiran nodded. Although she didn't know much about materials, she could tell that this spirit grass was very valuable. However, she was more concerned about whether Jiyu would let go of the pregnant female dog. So, what do you want to do with it? Zhuang Weiran looked at the bramble demon dog with pity. In her heart, she hoped that Jiyu would let go of this pregnant bitch. Of course, let it go, Jiyu said without hesitation. The bramble demon dog not only didn't attack them, but also took the initiative to hand over a pearl spirit grass. He wasn't a person who liked to kill, so he would let it go. The bramble demon dog seemed to understand Jiyu's words, and a drop of tear flowed out of the corner of its eyes, as if it was grateful to Jiyu. Looking at this scene, Jiyu couldn't help but go forward and stroke the demon dog's head. The demon dog didn't resist at all, letting Jiyu stroke it. Jiyu couldn't help but sigh in his heart. He only hoped that the female dog wouldn't die in the hands of others. Then, Jiyu and the others left here. However, at this moment, the bramble demon dog that was still lying on the ground suddenly disappeared. The nearby area was very quiet, as if nothing had happened. Chapter 305. Time flew by and half a day passed. Jiyu suppressed her strength to defensive profound realm LV9, and her speed of killing beasts was very fast. The beast hunting ceremony had entered its climax, and so did the audience outside the venue. The betting time had ended, and many people were looking forward to the final result. Now that half a day had passed, it was enough for them to judge the final result. The first was the second prince's team, the second was the fifth prince's team, and the third was... They all had a rough idea of the rankings in their hearts. As for the sixth prince's team, which was Jiyu's team, they were either fifth or sixth in the eyes of these people. Now, they just had to wait for the final result. In the Beast Mountain Range, all the teams were fighting to kill beasts in the inner area. Jiyu and the others were no exception. There was only half a day left before the end, and Jiyu felt that it was about time to show her skills. In fact, it wasn't really showing her skills. As long as she could get the first place, it would be fine. Not long after, they met another team. This was already the 10th team they met. Everyone was fighting to kill beasts, so it was normal to meet each other. The teams they had encountered before had all been beaten back by them. But this time, the team in front of them was a little special, as Jiyu saw the fifth prince among the 5 people. It was obvious that this was the team led by the fifth prince. And the strength of the team was not ordinary. Other than the fifth prince who was at defensive profound realm, the other 4 were all at least at defensive profound realm LV8, and one of them was at defensive profound realm LV9. In this beast hunting ceremony, they were definitely one of the strongest teams. But unfortunately, they met Jiyu. But Jiyu was a little concerned about the LV9 defensive profound realm young man, because she remembered Zhuang Weiran said that the second prince and the fifth prince were in cahoots with the evolving temple. In the Kanglan Empire, there were not many who were at defensive profound realm LV9 among the younger generation. And this young man was dressed strangely, with a lot of black cloth wrapped around his body, and his face was full of evil, so it was very likely that he was from the Evolving Temple. Or rather, he was once captured by the Evolving Temple and became like this. Chen Chong. At this moment, Qi Ling suddenly spoke. What? Do you know him? Ji Yu asked curiously when she saw that Qi Ling was looking at the sinister young man. He used to be a disciple of the Qianyuan martial house, and he was ranked first. Of course I know him. Qi Ling explained, however. He disappeared mysteriously 2 years ago. No one knows where he went. I didn't expect to meet him here. She still blushed a little when she talked to Ji Yu. Mysteriously disappeared for 2 years? I understand. Ji Yu more or less understood now. He was now certain that Chen Chong was most likely a member of the Evolving Temple. It was fine if they didn't provoke him, but if they dared to provoke him, he would teach them a lesson. What do you mean? At this time, Zhuang Weiran whispered to Ji Yu. The other party's overall strength was very strong. Unless Ji Yu made a move, they had no chance of winning. However, if Ji Yu made a move, her true identity would be exposed. Don't worry. Just do what you need to do, Ji Yu said calmly. The fifth prince, Zhuang Kunji, was also surprised. He didn't expect to meet Zhuang Weiran here. Make a move? Chen Chong also noticed the team in front of him, and said in a low voice. Especially when he recognized Qi Ling he couldn't help but pay more attention to her. Zhuang Kunji shook his head expressionlessly. After that, the two teams walked past each other without any intention of making a move. When the crowd saw this scene, they began to talk about it. It's strange that the fifth prince didn't make a move. Yeah. The teams that met the fifth prince before were all beaten up badly. This time, they didn't even make a move. Actually, it's not strange. That's the sixth prince's team. The two of them are related by blood. If they made a move, it would be a big deal. I remember there are rumors that the fifth prince and the sixth prince have a bad relationship. Although killing was not allowed in the beast hunting ceremony, it didn't say that fighting was not allowed. Injuring or crippling people from other teams would affect the speed of the other team's hunting. This was also a method to compete for a ranking, and it was also a method that was tacitly agreed by the rules. Ji Yu walked past the fifth prince and his team calmly. Qing Yeye and Qing Jiangjiang were vigilant because they could sense that the other party's strength was not ordinary. Until the two sides walked away, neither side had the intention to make a move. They seemed to be very harmonious. However, at this time, Chen Chong suddenly turned around and looked deeply at Ji Yu's back. What's wrong? Zhuang Kunji asked. Nothing. Chen Chong immediately turned back. Chapter 306. Even though Ji Yu didn't turn around, she could feel Chen Chong's gaze. Although she didn't know what that gaze meant, she didn't take it to heart. Fifth brother, I didn't expect to meet you here. Suddenly, at this moment, a heroic voice came from not far away. Hearing this voice, Ji Yu immediately realized who the owner of the voice was and turned to look. She saw a burly young man wearing the same clothes as Zhuang Kunji walking over. If she wasn't wrong, this burly young man should be the second prince of the royal family. Behind the burly young man were 4 people. The burly young man was at the 9th level of the defensive profound realm. The other 4 were all at the 8th level of the defensive profound realm and didn't have any distinguishing features. Ji Yu couldn't tell which one of them was from the Evolving Temple. The overall strength of this team was on par with Zhuang Kunji's team. Second brother. Zhuang Kunji responded coldly and didn't say anything else. At this time, the burly young man also noticed Ji Yu's side. But when he saw Zhuang Weiran, he seemed to understand something and didn't pay attention to them anymore. Ha ha ha, fifth brother, you're still as cold as ever. The burly young man laughed and patted Zhuang Kunji's shoulder. Contrary to the fifth prince Zhuang Kunji, this second prince's character was very bold and unrestrained. Just say what you want to say. Zhuang Kunji moved away from the burly young man's hand and said coldly, "Okay." The burly young man didn't mind at all and said, "It's like this. I just found a een spirit tree with a een spirit fruit. But there's a third-rank monster guarding it. If it's just me, I can't get close." "Third-rank monster?" Zhuang Kunji didn't even think and shook his head. "Forgive me for not accompanying you. Against a third-rank monster, not to mention one team, even two teams together wouldn't be enough. Even if it was the een spirit fruit, he wasn't willing to take such a big risk. Don't be anxious. Let me finish first." The burly young man hurriedly said, "Although that demonic beast is a rank 3 demonic beast, it has just broken through to rank 3 and its strength is not stable yet. If both of our teams go together, there is a 90% chance of success." Zhuang Kunji hesitated for a moment before nodding. "I'll go with you and take a look." "Haha, that's right," the burly youth said excitedly. "Let's go! By the way, Little Six, do you want to join us?" The burly youth had only taken a few steps when he suddenly asked Zhuang Weiran, who was not far away. Hearing this, Zhuang Weiran was about to reject, but she heard Ji Yu's voice directly entering her heart. "Promise him first." Hearing Ji Yu's mental communication, Zhuang Weiran didn't know why Ji Yu was doing this, but she still said to the burly youth, "Since second brother is personally inviting me, then I'll accept." The burly young man was slightly taken aback, and a hint of surprise flashed in his eyes. He had only said it casually, but he didn't expect Zhuang Weiran to really agree. That's not right with his understanding of his sixth sister. She wouldn't agree so easily, right? However, the burly youth didn't have time to think so much. He still had to rush to Yin Shu's place in case something unexpected happened. Without thinking too much, he immediately set off. After the second prince and the fifth prince's group had walked far away, Zhuang Weiran and the rest slowly followed. At this time, Zhuang Weiran softly asked Ji Yu, "Why did you want me to promise him?" She actually wanted to ask just now, but she had to wait until second brother and fifth brother were far away before she could ask. "That Yin fruit is quite useful to me," Ji Yu said. Yin fruit, he knew what it was. It was a mysterious fruit that could increase an alchemist's soul power. A normal person's soul power was basically predetermined at birth, and it was especially difficult to increase one's soul power later on. At this time, a fruit that could increase one's soul power was extremely rare. Simply put, the Yin fruit could be said to be a priceless treasure in the Kanglan Empire. Even if one had the money, it would be hard to get one. This was also why the second prince and the fifth prince took the risk to face a rank 3 demon beast. Even if it was just a rank 3 demon beast, its level of danger was not low. Chapter 307. Ji Yu was an alchemist, so the Yin spiritual fruit would be of great use to him. Hearing Ji Yu's words, Zhuang Weiran basically understood. If it wasn't for Ji Yu's request, she wouldn't have agreed to second brother's request. Don't be fooled by second brother's simple-minded appearance. He was actually very cunning. But with Ji Yu around, she didn't have to worry about second brother playing any trick. Ding! Master took a step forward. Earth rank low grade profound skill lightning luster transformation gained experience. 1 by 999 times. Ding! Master took a step forward. Earth rank low grade profound skill lightning luster transformation gained experience. 1 by 999 times. Ji Yu and the rest silently followed behind the burly youth. The burly youth didn't care. To put it bluntly, he could deal with Six Sisters' team by himself. After an unknown amount of time, the burly youth's footsteps suddenly stopped. That's the Yin spiritual tree in front. There's a bramble demon dog, which is a third-grade demonic beast, guarding there. He opened his mouth to speak. Bramble demon dog? Hearing this, Ji Yu and the rest were all stunned. They had just let go of a bramble demon dog. Why was there another one here? If it really entered the third grade, then it shouldn't be the previous one. Although the Bramble Demon Dog was a second grade, ninth grade demonic beast, it was pregnant and couldn't have broken through at such a special time. Let's go. After speaking, the burly youth deliberately said to Ji-Yu's team, and you guys too. The burly youth and Zhuang Kunji's two teams took the lead and rushed forward, while Ji-Yu and the rest followed behind unhurriedly. Not long after, a strange old tree appeared in front of them. This old tree should be the Yin spiritual tree. There were about 8 or 9 light red fruits on the Yin spiritual tree, which must be the Yin spiritual fruit. In addition, there was a Bramble Demon Dog resting beside the ancient tree. You guys go and lure it away first, then I'll go and pick all the Yin spiritual fruits, then we'll distribute them. The burly youth immediately ordered. Hearing this, Zhuang Kunji frowned, clearly dissatisfied. At this time, Ji-Yu also saw the Bramble Demon Dog. In the next moment, he was shocked. Go! Ji-Yu blurted out. What happened? Hearing Ji-Yu's sudden voice, Zhuang Weiran had no idea what was going on. Qi Ling Qing Ye and Qing Jiangjiang were also shocked by Ji-Yu's words. Don't worry so much, just follow me. The situation was urgent, and Ji-Yu had no time to explain. Seeing Ji-Yu's ugly expression, Zhuang Weiran and Qi Ling both realized the severity of the situation. They had never seen such an expression on Ji-Yu's face before. Even though they didn't know what was going on, they decided to listen to Ji-Yu. Although Qing Ye and Qing Jiangjiang were still at a loss, they chose to follow Zhuang Weiran. Whatever Zhuang Weiran did, they would do. As for the burly youth and Zhuang Kunji, they didn't take Ji-Yu's words to heart. They all thought that Ji-Yu was scared out of his wits by the Bramble Demon Dog, and wanted to escape. But at this time, the Bramble Demon Dog that was resting suddenly woke up, and let out a terrifying roar. Roar! This roar was very unusual, and it had great penetrating power and lethality. The burly youth and Zhuang Kunji couldn't react at all, and they were defenseless against this roar. The roar went straight to the depths of their bodies. Their brains and souls were instantly attacked. Even the burly youth couldn't resist, and his face turned pale. The rest of the people were even worse, and they even knelt on the ground with a painful expression. Only Chen Chong was slightly better. Only Ji-Yu was able to resist in time. His expression changed slightly, and he quickly threw out a defensive array diagram. Ding! Master activated a third-rank lower defensive array. Array attainment gained experience. 600 by 999 times. A defensive barrier appeared in a flash, covering Ji-Yu, Zhuang Weiran and the 4 girls inside. Even so, it couldn't completely block that shocking penetrating power of the roar. But this was enough. The 4 girls didn't suffer much damage. As for Ji-Yu, he wasn't affected in the slightest. But he couldn't be happy, because, when he first saw the Bramble Demon Dog, he felt that this Bramble Demon Dog was extremely terrifying. Ji-Yu couldn't see the true level of this Bramble Demon Dog, which meant that its true strength was at least above his. Just broke through third rank? This Bramble Demon Dog was obviously pretending. In the end, the burly youth believed it was true. At this time, Ji-Yu's expression was very serious. This Bramble Demon Dog should be a 4th-rank demon beast, which was equivalent to a human martial cultivator who had reached the spirit profound realm. Although he had the confidence to retreat, he couldn't protect Qi Ling, and the rest. Chapter 308. This Bramble Demon Dog of 4th rank or above has a huge body. At this time, it slowly got up, giving Ji-Yu a stronger visual impact. Compared to the pregnant demon dog before, this demon dog is at least twice as big. Those sharp fangs, flashing a terrifying cold light. They saw the Bramble Demon Dog slowly walking towards them. That incomparably heavy pressure made the burly youth, Zhuang Kunji and the others' faces even more ugly. Only so few people came. Suddenly, the Bramble Demon Dog opened its mouth slightly, and a majestic voice came out. The bramble demon dog's fist-sized eyes stared at them, like an emperor looking down on the common people. This demon beast can actually speak human language? They were all astonished. In fact, they were more afraid in their hearts, because at least a fourth-rank demon beast can start to imitate human language. This also means that the bramble demon dog in front of them is at least fourth rank or above. Facing a fourth-rank demon beast, they have no room to resist. The burly youth, Zhuang Kunji, and the others' faces were ugly to the extreme. To be able to encounter a fourth-rank demon beast in the inner area, there is probably nothing more unlucky in this world than this. Even Ji Yu's face was dignified. The inner area is generally the gathering place of second-rank demon beasts. Third-rank demon beasts are very rare, at most not more than 3 to 5. Those 3 to 5 are just not able to mix in the core area, so they have to bow down to the inner area, so their strength is not too high. But now even a fourth-rank demon beast has appeared. Zhuang Weiran and Qi Ling, one on the left and one on the right, gently tugged at the corner of Ji Yu's clothes. Perhaps this will make them feel a little more at ease. As for Qing Yeye and Qing Jiangjiang, they subconsciously hid behind Ji Yu. Now that Ji Yu is the strongest human here, they can only rely on Ji Yu. At this time, the bramble demon dog's back suddenly shot out several sharp and slender thorns, flying towards the burly youth, Zhuang Kunji, and the others. Even Ji Yu found it hard to catch them with her naked eyes. She could only barely see a few black lines flashing past. Even Ji Yu, who was at the late stage of Tongxian realm, could not see clearly, not to mention those who were targeted by the bramble demon dog. However, the burly youth and Zhuang Kunji seemed to have already made preparations. The two of them used some unknown method and disappeared in the blink of an eye. The other 8 people were in a miserable state. All of them were pierced by the thorns shot by the bramble demon dog. Due to the ferocious impact, he was even sent flying several meters or even more than 10 meters away. Blood splattered everywhere. In a single exchange, all 8 of them had died. Even Chern Chong, who was at the 9th level of the defensive profound realm, died without any suspense. Moreover, Chern Chong was the most miserable. He was nailed to a large rock by the thorns that pierced through his body. He was already dead, and his feet couldn't even touch the ground. Even large cracks had appeared on the large boulder. Gravel and dust flew in the air. It was enough to show how terrifying the impact of these thorns was. Seeing this scene, Ji Yu couldn't help but feel a little frightened. If these thorns were shot towards him, he might be able to dodge. As a member of the royal family, Zhuang Weiran should also have some life-saving methods. However, Qi Ling, and the rest would be in danger. 2 actually escaped. The bramble demon dog seemed to be slightly surprised to find that 2 people had escaped. Ji Yu didn't find it strange. That burly youth and Zhuang Kunji were both princes of the royal family. They definitely had life-saving method. If the 2 princes died so easily, then he would find it strange. However, Ji Yu wasn't in the mood to think about this. If nothing unexpected happened, the bramble demon dog's next target would be them. His brain worked quickly, thinking of how to deal with the crisis in front of him. Facing such a ferocious 4th-stage demonic beast, he couldn't help but break out in a cold sweat. He wasn't afraid of himself, but he had Qi Ling, and the rest by his side. However, the bramble demon dog's next move shocked Ji Yu. The bramble demon dog lightly stepped and the ground shook. It directly shook off 2 or 3 Yinling fruits on the Yinling tree. Looking at the bramble demon dog's move, Ji Yu was suddenly stunned. However, he still didn't dare to act rashly. Instead, he cautiously probed the bramble demon dog. What is the meaning of this? Don't worry, I won't kill you. The bramble demon dog said calmly. You let my wife go earlier. These 3 Yinling fruits are my reward to you. Hearing this, although Ji Yu was very surprised, he decisively went over and picked up the 3 Yinling fruit. He didn't doubt the words of the bramble demon dog, king, in front of him. After all, if the other party really wanted to kill them, he would have done so long ago. There was no need to waste so much words. The only thing that surprised him was that the pregnant female dog was actually the wife of the Bramble Demon Dog King in front of him. He couldn't help but feel lucky that he let the pregnant female dog go. Not only did he save the lives of his people, but he also got 3 Yinling fruit. I don't like killing. It was these humans who hurt my wife. Naturally, they have to pay the price. It's a pity that to escape, the Bramble Demon Dog King said. Hearing this, Jiyu instantly understood something. It turned out that the injury of the female dog was caused by the second prince and the fifth prince's team. This was so dramatic that Jiyu didn't know what to say for a while. You can go now. The Bramble Demon Dog King continued. The rest of the Yinling fruits belong to me. Don't even think about it. Chapter 309. Let's leave now. Jiyu turned around and left without hesitation. Although the king of demon dogs seemed to be a little silly, no one could guarantee what a fierce beast would do at any time. If they could leave here safely, they should leave as soon as possible. The other 4 girls also quickly followed Jiyu. After seeing the scene of those people dying, they all had a lingering fear. When Jiyu and others were far away, the king of Bramble Demon Dogs crawled on the ground again. It was also at this time that Jiyu, who had calmed down, remembered something. Before the Yin Spirit fruit was separated from the Yin Spirit tree, that is, before it was fully mature, the Yin Spirit tree would be full of very strong demon aura. This had a great effect on demon beasts. That was why the king of Bramble Demon Dogs occupied the Yin Spirit tree. The 3 Yin Spirit fruits that had just been shaken down were also fully mature, so the rest Yin Spirit fruits that were not fully mature could not be distributed to them. But it didn't matter. Jiyu was already very satisfied to be able to save the lives of her own people, not to mention that she also got 3 Yin Spirit fruit. After this, everything was as usual. Except for the second prince, the fifth prince, and Jiyu, no one knew what had just happened to the Yin Spirit tree. After all, the king of Bramble Demon Dogs, a 4th-class demon beast, was there, so the monitoring formation could not be arranged there. At the same time, at each entrance of the Monster Mountain range. Huh? That's strange. Why only the second prince and the fifth prince are there? Where are their teammates? I don't know. I saw them with the 6th prince's team, a total of 15 people walking together. Could it be that they encountered some powerful demon beasts? The 2nd prince and the 5th prince's faces are very bad, so it's very likely. It's a pity that the 6th prince's dark horse team was completely wiped out. At this time, on the screens at each entrance of the Monster Mountain range, the 2nd prince and the 5th prince were sitting on a stone and panting, looking very gloomy. Seeing this situation, it was inevitable that people wondered if something had happened. In the Monster Mountain range, the burly young man got up from the stone first. He was in a very depressed mood now and couldn't sit still at all. Now that he was the only one left in the team, the efficiency of hunting demonic beasts would be greatly reduced. There was still a long time before the beast hunting ceremony ended, and it was very likely that someone would overtake them in the end. Originally, he felt that he should be firmly in the first place, but now he felt uncomfortable. Zhuangyun, you kept saying that the demonic beast had just broken through to rank 3, but you actually lied to me. At this time, Zhuang Kunji's heart was filled with anger. He couldn't help but blame the burly young man. He even directly called out his second brother's name. How would I know? That bastard was actually hiding his cultivation level. Zhuang Yun was already depressed, and her tone became angry. But he quickly calmed down and said, "Forget it, there's no point in us brothers arguing here. Why don't we think about what to do next?" Zhuang Kunji, who was about to explode, was also appeased by Zhuang Yun's words. Indeed, he was right. The matter had already passed, so there was no point in arguing. What else can we do apart from working together? Zhuang Kunji said. Cooperation is a must, but there is another way. Zhuang Yun said. What is it? Tell me. Zhuang Kunji immediately asked. That is to rob the weaker teams and take all of their gains. Naturally, we will be able to stabilize our ranking. Saying this, Zhuang Yun's eyes flashed with a sinister light. Okay. Zhuang Kunji hesitated for a while, then nodded. In this situation, he could only be a bandit for once. There was no other way. Then that's it, and I will explain it in detail. Zhuang Yun continued, we will split the demonic beast skulls equally, and we will not interfere with each other's hunting. What do you think? Okay. Zhuang Kunji hesitated for a while, but could only nod. Zhuang Yun's rule seemed to be fair to both sides, but it was actually very disadvantageous to him. Originally, the points he accumulated from the demonic beast skulls were lower than Zhuang Yun's, and Zhuang Yun's cultivation level was much higher than his. In the end, Zhuang Yun's ranking could only be higher than his, and there was no possibility of him being lower than him. But Zhuang Kunji had no choice but to accept this condition. Right now, he was the only one left in the team. If he cooperated with Zhuang Yun, he was confident that he could get second place. On the other hand, if he didn't cooperate with Zhuang Yun and relied on himself, he might not even be able to get into the top 3. Zhuang Kunji felt helpless. In this kind of situation, what other choice did he have? You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.